What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day, another episode of the Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30NSG, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about PlayStation tried to lock out a major third-party game into exclusivity deal. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about Bungie directors and staff transition to Sony as part of the post-layoff. So we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about Disney to debut a new Lightning Lane premium pass this month, but some guests may have some sticker price issues, so we'll talk about that. And then we also have a Netflix. Netflix closes its AAA studio game studio in Southern California, and we'll talk about that as well. If you guys like what I do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We just talk about games, entertainment news, just bullshit basically for an hour and a half to 2 hours a day. If you like that. If you're entertained for the next 2 hours, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. If you are a member, as we go through chat, I will do a more focus on the people that are members of the chat, but I will read all chats and bring people up on the stream as I see, your comments on the channel. So I appreciate you very much for tuning in, hanging out with us. Again, we're here Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. Just have a conversation, keep you guys entertained. If you're at work, at home, doing absolutely nothing, you got a podcast playing in your ear, we're here. We're doing Friday shows as well, but Fridays is like, not sure if I want to do a full Friday every time, but Friday shows we've added to the slate as well. So if you're thinking about it, like why would I want to tune into this guy? Well, I'm giving you content Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursday mornings. I'm giving you content Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday evenings, and now we added Friday. We got more content than Game Pass, I think. I think we got more content than Game Pass. What's going on, Brain? What's going on, Wonder Rose? Salty? Water Bear? Good morning, Kylo Green. What's going on? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Mike Pass has a Mike Pass. Yesterday, Florida's getting too crowded, okay? Too crowded. It's like 6:30 in the evening. Rush hour is over here. I'm trying to go about 6 miles down the road on the highway, and it's gridlock. Gridlock. And I'm like, what is happening right now? I was like, everyone just needs to get out of the state. Go back to your states. Go back to the wonderful world of wherever you came from, because everyone said, Florida, nobody wants to be in Florida. Well, everyone's moving to Florida. It's too goddamn crowded here. Get out. Move somewhere else. There's too many goddamn people here. I remember I would be able to go from here to Disney and not see a goddamn car. Not one car. And now, as far as the eye can see, I see rooftops. Florida. Nobody wants to move to Florida. They got those hurricanes and gators. Yeah, leave. We don't want you. I don't want you. Too crowded over here. Too crowded. What's going on, Roadkill? Come on, Krebsy. Speed. Good morning, good morning. Is it Tuesday? Jesus Christ, I forgot it's Tuesday. Robert Jones, good morning. Cape Coral, Florida, Southwest. When I lived there 8 years ago, when we first moved to this section over here, and you know what's funny? We used to live over by UCF, right? We're going to college and whatnot, and we moved to a place farther out east, okay, northeast. It's called Altamont Springs, and it was an upcoming area. And we lived there. There's not that many people there, and then boom, it boomed. Then we moved to another place, which was less people, a lot less people. And then, boom, it's exploded yet again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a place that I don't want to live, buy a house there, let people think I'm moving there so that everyone moves there, and then move back to where I was. We'll do a little fake out. We'll do a little, break some people's kneecaps, like in football. We'll do a little juke. They'll be like, hey, Mike's going over there. No, he's not. What's going on? Good morning. After watching you last night, I think I downloaded every simulator game. I was after the stream last night. I did download a couple demos for simulator games. Krebsy says, "Don't say it again. Don't." Oh, I know what you're talking about. You don't want me to say. You don't want me to say. Because then Mo will pop in. Then Mo will just appear. It's like Beetlejuice. I got you. You definitely don't want me to say, you can't say it 3 times. You definitely don't want me to say Game Pass 3 times. Waterbear says there's no way in hell. There's no way in hell I'm moving to Florida. I visit every year. It's too goddamn hot. Wait a minute. You live in Georgia. Georgia's much hotter. Much hotter when it's hot. Obviously, you guys get snow and stuff there, but it's much hotter there than it is in Florida. Krebsy says, no. Like Darth Vader. That's what I hear. Kyle says, I'm on vacation next week. It will be the longest work week of my life. Yeah, he's literally 1 state away. He's thinking that Georgia is so hot. People from Georgia come to Florida for vacation. The Florida sun is so pissed off for no reason, even in wintertime. Oh, man. It was gorgeous the other day. It was 54 degrees. 54 degrees. Look, I'm okay if global warming happens and it messes with the temperature and gets it, where it's cooler here for a couple times. I understand global warming means everything's getting hotter, but it's also getting a little colder here every year. So I'm okay with the colder weather. I'm a sweater shorts guy. You know what I mean? Light sweater, shorts. Love it. My arms get cold. I'll tell you what. When I used to go to New York for the summer to visit my grandmother, my relatives used to ask me every year, what do you like better? Do you like Florida or do you like New York? Which one's hotter? I'm like, it's hotter here in New York. Okay? It's a concrete goddamn jungle and it just retains heat. Okay? Roadkill says it's hot everywhere. Right. It hit 86 yesterday in Connecticut. It's almost November. Yeah. It's a dry heat. Jeremy Maddox says it's like a brick oven. Yeah. Brain says it's all about who has the best dangling keys to spend your money on. PC, Xbox, PlayStation. I say I put my money on PC. Yeah, if you're a person getting into gaming, I don't know if I would. If you're a person that's like, I don't know where I want to go, right? And I admit this, right? Water, if you're brand new, maybe you're late 20s, you never gamed because your parents didn't want you to game because they thought it was satanic or something, right? They didn't let you watch TV. You're on your adult now. You graduated college. You're like, what am I getting? You'll look at all the systems. You're like, okay, I got this game system. I got this game system. I got that game system. Do you buy a PC? Maybe, because professionally, right? You're coming out of college, right? You want to buy one thing. You're like, you know what? Maybe I'll just get a PC. I can use it for work, right? And I can use it for gaming. You might be right for PC, but at the same time, if they're broke, right? They might get a Series S. They might get a Series S or even a dongle from Fire Stick TV to put into their television sets. I'm just saying. They might not even buy a system. They might just buy the dongle. They're like, I like watching TV. Amazon Fire Stick. I can get Netflix. I can get Amazon. I can get the I can get Game Pass. The clip says, that's one reason why it's hard for me to leave Virginia. I love the cold. Virginia has the best of doing the cold. It never gets too cold, but also it does get cold. Look, as a kid born in New York, but moved here when I was very young, because I'm basically a Floridian, okay? If it gets below 65 degrees, it might as well be the North Pole. It might as well be the North Pole. My blood is so thinned out when I'm like a lizard. You ever see the lizards? Well, you guys, some of you don't even know what lizards are. When you see a reptile hanging out on a stone because the sun's baking on them, that's me, right? People from Florida, we go outside, we're like Superman. We're like, the sun, it gives us our powers. Okay? If it gets too cold, we like freeze up like iguanas. Roadkill says, get a PlayStation 5 Pro. Don't be stupid, my brother. Let me save you. No broke college kid is gonna come out of college with no money to get a PlayStation 5 Pro. Hey, you're talking about person that has a job. I'm talking about broke college kid. The clip says, for the money, I would say the Series S. There is no way you can get a PC as good as that for the price. Oh, absolutely. But that's what I'm saying. They probably don't even go with the Series S. They just go for a Fire Stick, right? That's if they can afford the internet. Though, if you have a PC, you don't need an Xbox. Sure, right? Now, I agree with Waterbear. Like, PC is probably it, but it's super expensive. You're not getting a high-grade PC. Oh, no, crash. Who crashed? I didn't crash. Kyle says it was 35 last week in the morning. It's the week it hits 86 New England. Weather is different. Yeah, see, that's here you go outside, you know it's hot. It gets cool like in February. You get a couple days here and there, October, November, December. I've seen Mark Zuckerberg, Salty says. Krebsy says, everyone likes the cold until it snows 12 inches. Snow can eat a dick. Yeah, no. I remember going up to Wisconsin. We had to go to a funeral a couple years ago, and it was snowing. It snowed so hard they couldn't put them in the ground because the ground's too hard, right? And I had to wake up an hour and a half early to go scrape off the windows with ice and plow the snow to get to the car without trying to kill myself, slipping on the ice and stuff. And I went, yeah, no, I'll take melted water over this any day. It's what I'm cracking. Dustin says, I recommend a $500 PC gaming handheld. Come on, Kuda Papa. Come on, Dolphin. Grebsy says, but 30. These college kids are buying Gucci, Starbucks, and new iPhones yearly. Order Uber Eats every day. Well, mom and dad are funding them, right? Let me tell you something. If you're a college kid, which many of you are not, because my average person watching me is like 28 and above, but if you're a college kid and you're taking student loans out and then going to fucking Starbucks, the education system failed you. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Okay, if you have a student loan and you're spending it on like Starbucks, eating out every day, and Ubering everywhere, you need to go back to high school. Say it. Okay? Don't take a loan out so you can start spending it on fucking fast food and whatnot. You're supposed to use that to the best of your ability. because you ain't going to get a job right away. Yeah, I got family up in Wisconsin, and I got family up in Minnesota. My wife's side. Yeah, we're in we got people in what's it called? Menominee? Menominee? And then we have people in St. Paul, and then we got people in Little Falls, and then we got people way up north. I forget what the city's called. It's like right before the border of like Canada. It's up there. Dolphin says, I'll take blizzards over hurricanes here in Wisconsin. I mean, technically a blizzard is a hurricane. Just saying. Just saying. It's a hurricane with snow. Go on, Travis. Waterbear says, I can let you know firsthand, college kids are broke. I have one in college that I fund. Yeah. Yeah. There's no way he's buying a PlayStation Pro. Not buying a computer system. You'd be like, Dad, you know what I really need in college? All my friends have a PC, $4,000 PC, and Waterbear's like, well, let me tell you something. Here's a Fire Stick. Here's a Fire Stick, son. Yeah. Robert Jones says the education system is working as intended. That's right. All right. Let's go with what do you guys want to hear first? You want PlayStation, Bungie, Disney, or Netflix? Which one do you guys want first? You want PlayStation, Bungie, Disney, or Netflix? Actually, you know what we'll do? Here's what we'll do. We'll make a poll. We'll make a poll. We got PlayStation, Bungie, Disney, or Netflix. All right. You guys vote. And in the order in popularity, that's the order we'll go in. Okay? Nobody gives a shit about Netflix. Yeah. Nobody cares about Netflix. They're like, nah, Netflix. Make sure you vote. Hit that poll. Chat. If you're new in my channel, I see a lot of you. I'm looking at the number. I see a lot of you. 39 people in here. Okay. I know all of you are not subscribers. I know all of you didn't hit that like button, and I know all of you didn't vote. Hit that vote. Take 3 seconds and go, you know what? I want to hear 30 talk about PlayStation or Bungie or Netflix. Let's go on, Hilly. Hilly's back to just Hilly. No longer just Hilly. It's just Hilly. Kylo says, I choose Netflix for the pity vote. Oh, here's another thing I want to do with you guys. All right, I want to make this morning show as, entertaining as possible. Okay, I just don't want to be a gaming podcast. We're going to talk about different topics and whatnot. But I'm looking for, right? So if you're a member, you have access to the feedback channel in our Discord. Okay. If you're not a member, you can still join our Discord. Okay, and you can throw it in the general if you want. Okay, but I'm looking for clips emotes, something for like alerts. Okay, something for like alerts. So like when someone comes in and someone has to maybe gives like 10 gifted memberships. I thought about it last night. I want like what's that football movie called where the guy's like, it's 10, I give it a 10, I give it a 10, right? Like stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? So if someone gifts like 10 gifted memberships, we have something for that. If someone gives like 5, if someone comes in as a new member, I want new alerts, new things. So if you guys have any ideas of what you would like to see on the channel that you think is funny, entertaining, hit us up in the feedback channel in our Discord or our general channel. Casualties of Gaming says, are we really shocked about Netflix? They always seem to be doing half steps with gaming. They're just trying to throw their hat in the ring. They're like, we make a lot of money. That whole gaming market's the biggest thing in the world. They're like, let's throw some money at it. Let's throw some money at it. PlayStation and Bungie are pretty much the same thing. Sure. But we're talking about news stories. We're two different stories completely. It's like, all right, we're talking about Bungie. They're part of PlayStation. End of story. Thanks for coming. Blue Varsity. That's what it is, Argus. Yeah, no, Kyler, yeah, we're talking about the premium fast pass stuff. And I can talk firsthand because I live here. I'm an annual pass holder. And let me tell you, they try to screw us over, the annual pass holders, the people that keep Disney together, okay? They screw us over at every chance they can get. And now they're screwing people over way more with this fast pass stuff because they've taken it to an absurd level. Go on, Quintar. Good to see you. I have a question. Has anyone heard or seen from YouTube Lurker? Because he hasn't been around. I just want to make sure he's okay. They got your money, time for new blood? Yeah, basically. We haven't started anything yet, Sarge. We're looking at the order, and it looks like 29 votes of 38 people want to talk about Bungie first. So we're going to talk about Bungie first. Yeah, I don't think he has social media or Discord and stuff like that. I couldn't tell you. He blocked me, but I hope he's all right. Yeah, I just want to make sure he's all right because, you know, when I see people, there's another person, Dave Rose. We haven't seen Dave Rose since I was on vacation. I went on vacation. And when I came back from vacation, Dave Rose hasn't been back on the channel. So I don't know if anyone's seen Dave Rose. Not that I'm like, where are these people? Like seriously, they're here every day for like a year and a half, 2 years. And then all of a sudden they go missing. So I just want to make sure they're okay. That's all. No, we did say the words. I jokingly said Game Pass 3 times. What about him? Pete's doing fine. Hardcore people are still giving Bungie money. What seems to be the problem? They went out for a pack of cigarettes. All right, let's start off with the Bungie story. The way it works in my Morning show here. I haven't read any of these stories. I read the titles. We put them in Discord. People submit stories in the Discord. If you'd like to submit stories, submitted stories are for anyone that's in our Discord. Discord's open to everybody. There's other channels in our Discord that are for members. But anyone can submit. Anyone can talk in the general chat. So if you want to become a part of the Discord, you can become a part of the Discord. If you want to be a member of our channel, it opens up more rooms for you in our Discord, and you get emotes and stuff like that in our channel as well. All right, so let's start off with Bungie Director. Bungie Director and staff transition to Sony as part of the post-layoff integration, supporting PlayStation Live Service push. If you like what I do here, Quintar with the... I give it a 10. I give it a 10. I don't have the thing up, Quintar. I'm sorry. I give it a 10. He gave 10 gifted memberships to the channel, so I appreciate you very much. Appreciate that. That's funny. That's funny. Leadforce actually gave 20 gifted memberships last week. We need to get a membership himself, and then now someone gifted him. Fantastic. You see that? It goes back around. Okay. Find the link in the description down below. Yeah, the Discord link is down below. All the stories that we're covering are in the description down below as well. Okay. So, if you like what we do, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We go over news stories. I give you my thoughts and opinions on the news stories. This news story that I'm reading right now, not off other people's YouTube channels, other people's comments and description. I literally read the story for the first time with you guys, give you my thoughts and opinions, and then we move over. Forrest says, true story. Yeah, see how that comes around? You gifted, and then someone gifted you. Boom. Thank you very much, Quintar, for that. All right. So, Bungie Director and staff transitions to Sony as part of the post-layoff integration supporting PlayStation's live service push. Bungie begins to integrate integration with Sony following the second round of layoffs. Key staff and directors transitioned to Sony to support the PlayStation Live Service initiative and the Bungie projects. In the past year, Bungie has seen significant internal changes, having gone through 2 rounds in layoffs. Maybe we should wait. We'll wait a second here. I don't want to be rude. Well, we'll just wait. Yeah. Sarge says, do you ever wake up in a neutral mood, Travis? Ever? Real question, Mo says, is anyone really surprised about anything with Bungie and then being shit with? Then being shit with money? No. Oh no, you're good, Quintar. I don't want to silence them. You gifted money, so we'll let them go through. And that's it, right? That's the last one. All right, so in the past year, Bungie has significant internal changes, having gone through 2 rounds of layoffs, and they have impacted hundreds of employees. And the first round of cuts came in October of 2023, impacting around 8% of the company. Fast forward to July of 2024, and Bungie CEO Pete Carson announced a second round of layoffs, affecting a round of 220 staff members in a blog post. Now, Pete Carson shared that the company was working closely with the parent company, Sony Interactive Entertainment, SIE, to help soften the blow. Okay. We've also deepening the integration with Sony Interactive Entertainment, working with integrated 155 of our roles, roughly 12% into the SIE over the next few quarters. Pete Parson stated, okay, Bungie integration with Sony PlayStation. Now, 3 months later, the effective integration are becoming more apparent since September of 2024. Several Bungie employees have announced their move to Sony. As of now, some of the key departments impacted by the shift include marketing, HR, art, IT, and production. These transitions from Bungie to Sony will continue to support Bungie's projects while also supporting other PlayStation studios. Okay, that doesn't sound... I mean, it doesn't sound good, but it sounds good for Sony. Doesn't sound good for Bungie, right? And this could go twofold, right? We have NetEase coming out with the Bungie Destiny Rising. So Sony's like, you know what? We're going to hand the ball off to NetEase. They're going to take the IP of Destiny. We're going to make some money off of this mobile. See how this goes. We're going to take some of you guys to help us with our other projects that we need to push forward for the first-party titles. Destiny's going to be strong, regardless, right? They're not working on Destiny 3 anytime soon, or in the immediate future, I would think, okay? And they're just looking at the IP of Destiny, which is still strong, right? They're still making sales for what Destiny's doing right now. They're still making microtransaction for what Destiny is now. NetEase is coming in with Destiny Rising. We're just like a week or two away from the testing of that to see how that goes, right? And then we'll see what goes in the future. So they're taking key people and moving them over to Sony to do, whatever, to help with any other type of game, right? So the two prominent Bungie directors have also made their move to Sony. Adam Glogger, butchered it. Previously, the director of Total Rewards at Bungie announced his new role as director of Total Rewards at Sony Interactive Entertainment. Okay. Similarly, Joseph Biwold, marketing art director at Bungie, has also joined Sony PlayStation as the art director. I'm going to butcher your name. At this point, it's just a fucking joke anyway. While now part of the Sony, Joseph will play a crucial role of supporting Bungie's work on Destiny and the upcoming Marathon project. As the art director, I will play a central role of enhancing and expanding Sony Interactive Entertainment live service creative capabilities. We'll continue by collaborating closely with Bungie team to produce marketing art for Destiny and eventually Marathon, Joseph said and announced on his LinkedIn profile. Okay. It says, this isn't the first time Bungie's leadership has transitioned to Sony before. The announcement of the second round of layoffs, former Bungie CTO Lewis and also managing director Jeremy Rich, I could say that one, okay, revealed that they were also joining Sony Interactive Entertainment, where they also will continue supporting Bungie as well as any other, as well as other PlayStation studios. Yeah, so overall, I don't think this is like more bad news for Bungie, okay? They're just taking key people. Redundancy, you know what I mean? Like, Sony's looking at them going, why are we going to hire someone over here when we have these people over here that we can use, right? So, as Vandal said earlier, Bungie and Sony are the same, or PlayStation are the same, and he is right with his comment for that, meaning people that are working for Bungie also work for Sony. So if they're going to take those people, they have like dual roles now, right? So now they're helping out with Sony, but they're also helping out with Bungie at the same thing. This is a good thing and a bad thing because, one, nobody gets hired to lose their job. They're just taking that person and moving them over to Sony to help them with other things for Sony, the live service aspect, if it's art, IT, marketing, or whatever, and they're also working for Bungie as well. Again, Bungie is working on stuff behind the scenes. We really don't know what they're working on, but we do know that Destiny IP is moving on to Destiny Rising, which is done by NetEase, which Bungie has nothing to do with. So right now, Bungie's just focusing on making DLCs or continuing the season pass type of plan. Sort of like what Massive Entertainment did for Division 2, where they supported it and then stopped supporting it and then supported it again. I feel like that's where Bungie is with the Destiny franchise, where they're supporting it, but they don't know what's going on so much in the future, where maybe they're not starting Destiny 3. Maybe they're all talking about, do they make a Destiny 3 or do they just make a Destiny and then put expansion on top of it, right? These are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. Do you think this is a good move? Do you think it's a bad move? Do you think this is more of a bad news for Bungie because they're losing people from Bungie moving over to Sony? Or do you think this is, par for the course what happens when a company gets taken over? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Let me know your thoughts in the live chat. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And if you like what I do here, check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. I got to come up with something over here on this program. So when we're talking to chat, I got to put something up over there. Let me see what you guys are talking about. Waterbear says, you got to lay off people's off. So Carson, get more cars, baby. Let's go. Krebsy says, I knew this has been coming for a long time, especially after Pete has fumbled being independent. Well, it'll be interesting to see how long Pete Carson keeps his job, right? Every week we joke about it on GXG. We show how many cars he's bought since the whole ordeal started. Will he be here for the holidays? Will they get rid of him after the holidays? Is he going to stay here for the long haul? We'll see what happens. What's going on, Kurt? Warbear says we won't know if it's a good move until the marathon drops. If it's trash, then Bungie is completely done. I don't want to imagine someone with the caliber of what Bungie can do with a game. I know people might not like the extraction that they're making, or the hero extraction, or whatever they're doing for Marathon. I can't imagine Bungie, and I know it's hard to say this, but we see like Concord fail and other games fail. I can't imagine. There's so much love for Bungie, right? There's a lot of people that are burnt by Bungie, but there's still a crap ton of people that really love what Bungie does, and they're excited to see what Marathon does when it comes out. I can't imagine right now. Okay, now hindsight could be 2020. I can't imagine that Marathon's going to bomb where it's not going to make it, right? In this day and age, I feel like Marathon's going to drop. It might not get the praise or whatever. Okay, it's going to be a hard market to break into, but because it's Bungie and people love what Bungie does, I see it giving a good shot at it. You know what I mean? Salty says he'll get a golden parachute regardless of what he does. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Eclipse says, man, seeing the new gameplay for the Pirate Azuka game, have actually pirate gameplay, makes me want to get the game a lot. Game Pass Day 1. I know you're doing it on PC probably, but... Dolphin says there's no way Marathon bombs like Concord. Yeah, I can't... I don't want to say never, right? You know me, Dolphin. I never say never. I just can't picture Bungie fumbling like a Concord. But mind you, the people that made Concord were people that worked at Bungie. So, but they didn't have the name behind them of Bungie. They had it on a resume, but they didn't have the name. Mo says, not PlayStation's fault, but the reason they went looking for a new master if they were in trouble to begin with. Well, they did approach Microsoft, Mo. They did approach Microsoft, and Microsoft turned them down because they were... I did a story long before. I actually had a video on it, and I said that Microsoft is going to purchase, or could purchase, Bungie. I said they've been in talks. Remember when, after they broke from Activision, there was emails and talks going back and forth between Phil Spencer and Bungie. And then we found out that they were overpriced. And I had an example. I said it's sort of like getting comps, right? Like in the real estate market. I said that Phil Spencer said, how much do you want? They asked for $7 billion. They said, no way, you're overpriced. And then they went with Bethesda instead of going with Bungie. And I think that was a smarter move. Okay. But then, because there was filings of paperwork that usually only happens when they're up for sale, okay, and looking for sale, okay? And at that point, when we had the information that we had, I said that Microsoft might be purchasing them. But then it fell through, and then we found out later that they did offer them money, and it was overpriced, and then PlayStation, paid $3.2 billion for them instead. Sarge says, golden parachute. Pete the Car Parson. No, it's Pete Parson. Will only main the history and get the platinum parachute. The platinum. Upgraded. Krebsy says Bungie needed anyone to buy them because they had $300 million debt and not enough money to pay it. Yeah, but how many people could be out there buying it? You know what I mean? I don't see like EA picking them up. EA is like, no, we're cash money, baby. We're cash money. All right, the next one you guys wanted to talk about was the PlayStation. You guys like what I do here? We do this Monday through Thursday. Okay, we do this Monday through Thursday. From 10 o'clock in the morning to about noon Eastern, we just cover news stories, have conversations, talk to chat, bring them up. If you'd like to be a part of this, you can become a member as little as $4.99, a little less than $5, or $5. You get emotes. You get to become a member. More chat rooms open up for you in Discord and whatnot. And of course, I appreciate you for hanging out. And if you're here for 1 second, 1 minute, or 1 hour, I do appreciate you. Let's go on all turn. All right. So let's bring up story number 2. Okay. PlayStation tried to lock a major third-party game into exclusivity deal, but the devs said no. But still, it looks like Xbox fans will continue having to endure exclusivity deals like Silent Hill 2 going forward, should Xbox start doing similar. So just off that title alone, right? Here's what's going on, Ford. Here's what's happening, right? We all know that both parties always do exclusives. Hell, even Nintendo does exclusives, right? And we as gamers, most people don't like exclusives. Most people like to open it up, play games anywhere type of thing, right? But a lot of people like that exclusivity because they feel like, if I'm going to buy your system, what's the point of buying your system? Give me reasons to buy your system. Now, there's a difference, and you guys know where I stand. There's a difference between if it's a first-party title, like if you have a PlayStation God of War or Halo on Xbox, I feel like those are okay because that's their studios making their games for their platform type of thing, right? Now, obviously, we know Microsoft's planned. It doesn't matter if it's on their platform or not. They go multiple places. Some games go third-party. Some places, they're all going third-party, but bigger games stay with just PC or Xbox. Other ones go out to other platforms, right? PlayStation tries to just keep even third-party games just exclusively to their system, okay? Now, a lot of people talk about how that's better for the industry. But that's not better for the industry because the devs who are making these third-party games are looking to try to make as much money as possible. This is why Ubisoft, this is why Square Enix, they've decided to take their games and go on as many platforms as possible. This is why Ubisoft is trying to go on as many platforms as possible. This is why Ubisoft's putting their games on Steam. This is why PlayStation's putting their games on Xbox for live service games on day one. Not on Xbox, sorry. On PC day one. Because they're all trying to make as much money as possible. So, let's read on. The third-party time exclusive deals have typically hit Xbox the hardest, and they also may continue to do so. Okay, this year saw Black Myth Wukong, Silent Hill 2, and others reach paid exclusivity deals with PlayStation targeting Xbox. Now, was it proven for Black Myth Wukong? Was it proven that Black Myth got money from PlayStation? I don't think it was proven, but they said it was, for whatever reason. I know we did some stories on it, but I don't think it was proven that it was. Okay. It says on paper, 2024 looked like it might have been a light year for PlayStation, with a few first-party titles on the docket. 2024 looked as though lion's share of the first-party exclusive game launches would land on Xbox Series X/S instead of the great battle of the high-end consoles. Now, the reality, however, hasn't exactly panned out that way. Thanks to some of these savvy time exclusive deals across the games like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Silent Hill 2, Black Myth Wukong, and Stellar Blade, PlayStation has still able to boost the incredible strong lineup of exclusive titles for the core fans. Now, PlayStation Concord might have been uniquely a spectacular failure, but Helldivers 2 and Astrobot have been more than made up for it. Okay. Controversially, Xbox first-party title efforts like Hellblade 2 and Starfield Shattered Space launched to mix opinions, while other games like Aura History Untold have skipped Xbox altogether so far. Now, Microsoft has also seen other titles like Avowed and Towerborn picked up delays into 2025, and Xbox also has its own wins, though, but more on that in a minute. Now, what I find funny, though, and the way the media portrays this is that it's okay when PlayStation gets exclusives and it's like home runs. But when Xbox gets console exclusive, we'll call it, okay, because even though it's going to PC, but when they have it on their exclusive, right, they're like, oh, what a failure because they have Game Pass and they put their games on Game Pass and they think that that's a loss because they're not making as much money. But we don't know that for a fact because we don't know how many people are downloading it and playing it and taking that $20 a month for the Ultimate Edition or whatever, or they're covering it. So on the surface, we could say, yeah, they're not making as much money because they're not charging $70 for that game where PlayStation is charging. Okay. Well, you also have to remember that PlayStation's putting massive amount of money out on to buy that exclusive forever how long, and Xbox for their first party title games obviously is not putting that money out front, but for third party games that are coming out of the play, they don't pay the full price. They've been up front. They've spent about $1 billion a year, and there's a lot of games that come on Game Pass every single month, 3 to 6 every single month. That's 60 to 80 games that come onto Game Pass for the entire year. So that's a lot of money, $1 billion, but you got to cover it over 80 games. Obviously, the average, split it across them. Okay, so I like how the fanboys will always say, like, the PlayStation, like, this is awesome for PlayStation and shitty for Xbox, and vice versa, right? It is what it is, but they're both doing what they have to do. And I've said in the past that instead of having a console war, it'll be a streaming service war. But who gets the exclusive for the streaming service down the road? Okay, this is what happens with the studios for films, and Netflix and Disney Plus and Paramount and whatnot. And so much so, there's been studios in the film industry that they know they can't make money off of their product. So instead of putting it on their own service, they launch it to somebody else so they can make money on top of that, and then the ad revenue on top of that as well down the line, because they're like, well, we'll make more money if we sell it off to somebody else, and then when they're done with the contract, then it comes back to us. Just think about that in the future, okay? But developers, they want their game to be out as many people as possible, and that's why you're seeing this narrative being drawn where they want to just produce for Sony PlayStation. Well, if it's a company that wants to make as much money as possible, dev team, doesn't matter if it's good or not. People are losing their jobs if it's successful or not successful. So you might as well put it on as many platforms as possible to have the best chance of becoming successful, right? So, indeed, why are we talking about all of this, he says? The time exclusive discourse heated up again today with the news that another major third-party title might have been gobbled up by PlayStation to detriment of Xbox consumers. Now, the Korea-based financial reporter shared details on the session with Pearl Abyss, okay, which revealed that some details about how Sony attempt to lock Xbox consumers out of access to hotly anticipated Crimson Desert, while also scooped up a PC distribution rights in the process. And this reporter has also offered their own English translation for proceeding, in which also read below. So, say what you want. Is this bad business for Sony? No. From Sony's perspective, they're like, we need people to come over to our consoles, so they're going to make the deals. Now, when Xbox does it, they don't lock it down to one system. They lock it down to their system and the PC. So, by just that means alone, they're giving it out to more people than what Sony's trying to do, because Sony's in the console market still. They're trying to sell us consoles. What's the reason to buy the console? All these games, third party, first party, buy our console. Xbox doesn't care. You want to buy a console? Cool. You want physical? Cool. You want digital? Cool. You want to play on the cloud? Cool. You want to play on PC? Cool. It doesn't matter. They're putting it out, by their own words, to more people in more places, which they are. Okay? So it says, we, Pearl Abyss, spent a lot of time considering our release strategy. Sony has essentially seen the entire game and expressed interest in publishing it, offering several favorable terms. If we had gone with Sony as a publisher, the game would have been exclusive to PlayStation for a year, with no release on Xbox or PC distribution rights would also belong to Sony. Despite these restrictions, Sony's marketing power and various unique incentives were appealing. However, after evaluating the expected sales and revenue sharing structure, we've decided that self-publishing would be more beneficial. It's 99% certain that we would publish our game ourselves. And look at that. They even said themselves that it's very, very good, right? They're like, the offering was very favorable terms. But they decided, hey, well, if you go with PlayStation, that's 1 year. Well, you're only opening it up to whatever, 60, 65 million people that could potentially play your game. And out of that percentage of 65 million people, I'm giving the 5 million because we don't know what the sales are. Let's just say it's 65 million, right? 65 million people with the PlayStation 5 or 5 Pro total, okay? What percentage of that is going to sell? 2 million? 3 million? 5 million? 7 million? Whatever it is. But if they publish it themselves and they put it on PlayStation and they put it on Xbox and they put it on PC, can they get 5, 6, 7 million across the board? Yeah. And it's in more places so more people can buy it. So if the game comes out and people start liking it, okay, for the developer, people can buy it on PlayStation. People can buy it on Xbox. People can buy it on PC, and that's better for them. Sort of like Space Marines 2 coming out and saying, we got 4.5 million people playing this game in the first month, and everyone's like amazed. Black Myth Wukong, PlayStation and PC, selling more on PC. More people are buying it. It's like a snowball effect. Well, if it was just on PlayStation and and it was popular, people were like, well, I don't really want to pay $500 to get this to go play it just on that console. So it's a smart move by the devs to be like, you know what? They see the future. They see that more people are going to be playing. Why close it down to 65 million when you can open it up to like 1.5 billion potentially, right? So if you get 10% of 1.5 billion, that's much better than 10% of 65 million, right? So it says, recently Stellar Blade signed an exclusive deal with Sony, but it was also mainly because they didn't have any necessary publishing team, unlike us. In the typical contract, 30% of the revenue goes to the platform fees, and the mainly 70% is split between the developer and the publisher. Since we've already have the capability of self-publishing globally, we have overseas branches, and we concluded that using our own resources would be more advantage. Okay, Crimson Desert is a fantastic-looking title from the same studio that also brought us Black Desert Online. Crimson Desert is, however, a single-player title, which has been compared to Witcher 3 and other high-fidelity action-adventure RPG games. Thankfully, publisher Pearl Abyss sidestepped Sony's lucrative offers, but also intrigues me in the fact that if it doesn't sound like Xbox has it in the running at all. I don't think they were in the running at all, and again, I'm just kind of just speculating. I bet you that Xbox didn't even put it out there. I guarantee you, though, Xbox probably said, hey, we would like to put you on Game Pass, and they went, no, right? We'll check back to you 6 months from now when we're struggling or whatnot, right? So Xbox has been known to grab exclusive deals of its own, but it tends to come in early to help fund development. Stalker 2 is one of such examples. Stalker 2 is an independently developed game that absolutely fantastic looking so far, but Microsoft has also pretty much been there since the start of this concurrent iteration of the game. Now, per the interview of the developers, Microsoft also landed an exclusive deal with Palworld, which also was seamlessly indie, and the developer also using the funds from Microsoft. Now, Pearl Abyss describes Sony as having seen the entire game almost, such suggests that these deals are less about helping developers from the onset and also more about locking in Xbox from the question, or locking out Xbox from the equation. Now, it is a business strategy that clearly works for PlayStation, which is outselling Xbox Series X and S at a rapid pace. Xbox fans have celebrated this year that the titles like Final Fantasy XVI got essentially confirmed by Xbox versions, while also Genshin Impact is also finally set to get on Xbox. But fans are also getting them several years after the fact. If I'm a consumer deciding which console ecosystem to buy into or buy my coming age young gamer relative, I do get it. At one of them is more exclusive games, is also one of the in the fewer. So here's the thing I think about this though. At the onset, there's so many games, and people look. We all have a certain amount of time, and we all have a certain amount of money. The majority of gamers don't have the money or the time. So if you have a PlayStation, cool, and they have all these third-party exclusives, Xbox is just sitting back going, it's fine. We got games. We got things that we can do. And down the road, when these do come over to Xbox, it'll just be more content that we can put on because something will be leaving Game Pass and something else will be coming on to Game Pass, right? And again, they don't care about the $70 transaction. They care about this game coming over to this platform, and it's just another game that you might play for that $20 ultimate Game Pass type of thing, right? So right now, as we said earlier in the show, lots of young people don't have a lot of money to go out and buy a $500 thing. So how do you fix this, right? Do you have them buy a console, or do you bring the software and the games and the devices to them for a smaller price? Xbox doesn't care about making the money if they sell a Fire Stick or you're buying off a television set or on your mobile phone. They just want you a way to get played, so you get that $20 increment subscription model from these people, okay? It continues by saying Microsoft has once tried its hand in third-party time exclusive deals, and the backlash from the mainstream media was absolutely palpable. Okay, Rise of the Tomb Raider was very briefly exclusive to Xbox consoles and PC, and since then, Microsoft has avoided committing itself to similar deals, likely in fear of triggering a similar backlash. See, it's double standard, right? If Xbox does something, it's appalling. But if Sony does it, it's applauded. It's like, oh, good job. It's like a double standard across the board, right? Meanwhile, PlayStation has never really been subjected to the same scrutiny over its Xbox exclusivity deals. Xbox is clearly going to benefit from its partnership with GSC Game World on Stalker 2. However, it's also benefited from the timed Xbox exclusive with the PlayerUnknown Battleground, which remains one of the largest, world's biggest service games. But there's also types of exclusivity deals that may be on the way out of reasons Pearl Abyss itself described. Square Enix has famously sworn off doing further timed exclusive deals with PlayStation and has begun revamping its developer pipeline to support simultaneously multi-platform launches. This proves that the developers and studios that are publishing these games don't want to sign these exclusive deals. It doesn't matter if game companies can focus on one game for one system. Okay, they want to make as much money as possible. They're all in it for the money. And if Square Enix, if Ubisoft, if third-party games or just third-party developers and independent developers are all looking to get on many platforms as possible, that's the canary in the coal mine, okay? Coming out and saying, yeah, this is the old school model, here's the new school model, and we're all moving towards it, okay? So there's also Nintendo Switch 2 wildcard. A more powerful Nintendo Switch 2 will likely lend itself and receive a greater share of AAA game support without the types of compromising of aging predecessor requires. In that universe, does PlayStation continue to simply target Xbox for exclusivity deals, or does it pay more now to exclude Nintendo? Or if it's a former, or it's also more likely is the former, then they think Microsoft has the duty of the customers to get ahead of the curve. Now, he says, I would argue to neglectfully for Microsoft to have allowed PlayStation to lock games in like Silent Hill 2, Black Myth Wukong, and Final Fantasy VII into exclusive contracts, given the chilling effect that it has overbroadened customers' and developers' faith in the Xbox platform. Obviously, you can't win them all, but if you can't win them all, then perhaps you would be savvy at business to seek out more of your own deals like PUBG, Stalker 2, and Palworld. Things have gotten better over the years, but Xbox should still have an answer lined up for major pieces of the content and skips that Xbox platform. Only exclusivity deals, and it's also without getting into the Xbox multi-platform strategy. Discourse by also which Microsoft itself has begun giving Sony money directly to help them essentially fund these types of deals, but hey, it works both ways. Through game sales on PlayStation, Xbox will also have more money of its own to fund exclusive deals, right? Right? I mean, they're talking about like MLB The Show. Every time someone buys something from MLB The Show in the market, it pays Sony. But Sea of Thieves, any other games they put over on PlayStation, every time they make a sale, it makes money for Xbox. Same type of thing. Call of Duty, looking at you, coming out Friday. Okay? Lots of people play PlayStation. Every time someone buys something for Warzone, that's money going into Xbox's pocket off of their own, their competitors' money. Okay? So it says, what do you think? Should Xbox gun for more exclusive deals for console, or is it pointless waste of cash that won't move the needle either way? Hit up in the comments of their channel. Also, in my channel, let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think? Do you think that more studios, okay, that are making games, that are publishing their own games, are going to go for the smaller market? It's the smaller market. Even though Xbox has 2-to-1 less than PlayStation out there, they're also opening it up to PC, which is 10 times more than the console market, okay? And now the mobile market, where PlayStation's 65 million consoles, and they have exclusive deals, and they're selling 3, 5, 7 million of the 65, is that the way to go if you were a business? Put yourself in their shoes. If you're making a video game, what are you doing? Are you putting it on exclusive on one of the consoles, or are you making it everywhere? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know in the live chat. If you guys like what I do here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, let me see what you guys are saying here. Let's see. Pepsi says, what? A PlayStation paying for exclusives? Shocked. The company has a choice to accept or deny the offer. Also shocked. It's just interesting to see that the companies are like, I mean, they even say themselves, it was very, very good deal, right? Why didn't they take it? I'm assuming they didn't take it because of the saturation right now with the console. You're limiting yourself to sales for one system for 1 year, okay? And you want to try to make as much money as possible. 30 Akuta Papa says 30. It wasn't proven for exclusivity. They got some help on the project from Sony. For which for this game? Akuta Papa? Altern says, I was also, don't act like if Xbox is a huge platform. If it isn't on Game Pass, Xbox as a platform does not provide any benefits because all the benefits are behind Game Pass. Sure. But you got to remember, if you're in the mentality alternative, they're still in the consoles, then you're 100% correct. But they're not. They're not in the console market. They're in the gaming market. They're trying to get this game as many people as possible. And Game Pass is that leader. Dustin says, I almost bought Arcane Edition. It comes with Dishonored 1 and 2 and Deathloop and Redfall. How much was that, Dustin? Eclipse says, I'm fine with exclusives as long as the first party. Don't be buying third party, especially a third party that me and as a PC gamer also has known as since 2018, and you're also just learned about it. Right. Altern says, I mean, locking PC out of it, I would have also denied the contract. Right. Right. Like, that's a huge thing. First party, you want to lock PC out? Cool. Right? Kraken says, Win Microsoft, or W Microsoft, they know I won't buy their box, so they let me buy their games where I want to buy them. Right? Right? How is that a loss? Right? From the mentality, if you are a fanboy of a console box, right? You're looking at like, haha, we got better games than you, but Microsoft's like, if you want to buy it on Xbox, cool. If you want to buy it on PC, cool. If you want to buy it on PlayStation, cool. We don't care. We're just going to make that money. 30%, right, of a small thing is better than 0%, 100% of zero. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we get nothing because we didn't do anything. But if we put it on PlayStation, we put it on Nintendo, we put it on PC, we put it on a television set, we put it on a mobile phone, we'll take percentages here and there. That's much better than absolutely nothing. We actually might go back and play Redfall, Dustin. I don't know if we're going to do it this week, but we might do it. We might do it. Eclipse says there's a lot more people on PC that want this game. Pearl Abyss has also been making this game for a long time, and all the PC players knew about it. There's also a big Black Desert fans. Altern says, I mean, after seeing the gameplay trailers of Crimson Desert, I wouldn't do it exclusive. That's an amazing game that look at it. Yeah, it looks great. Krebsy says, I think if Sony wanted Crimson Desert, they would have been involved earlier on in it development, and also did not, and not when the game is out a year out. Since Pearl Abyss size, it doesn't need Sony's help at this close. Sure, but Sony, I mean, doesn't hurt to ask, right? But why wouldn't Crimson Desert take the deal? Lots of other people did, but the industry tells you what's going on, right? Like, we want to buy physical media, but if the industry decides to not give us physical media, then we don't have a choice, right? Well, the developers, if everyone's like, yeah, the future is just producing for quality, but these companies are like, I want to make as much money as possible. So why would they hinder themselves by going to one platform? Okay, they're seeing the future. They're like, put it out as many platforms as possible. Now, obviously not every studio can do this because they're not as big, and maybe they can't do as many, split the teams up to work on a port for each of the things. But if they're big enough, why hinder yourself as a business to one platform? Look at Hogwarts Legacy, right? Portkey and Avalanche Studio, okay? If they hindered themselves just to PlayStation, they're like, nah, PlayStation, you can have a mission, right? You can have a mission. They went to the old systems. They went PS4, Xbox One, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series SX, and PC, right? They went everywhere. They sold 25 million copies. They're like, yeah, you can have the mission, right? Now the mission's everywhere. We still haven't gone back and play it. We'll play it when the new DLC comes out later next year or something. Eclipse says, well, Reforged probably doesn't know the story behind Crimson Desert. I guarantee he probably thinks it just got announced. Who said something about Reforge? Oh, try telling Reforge that. Microsoft. Oh, yeah, Microsoft is about to make bank off Sony players. Yeah, with Call of Duty, man. Call of Duty is just literally siphoning money out of the competitor into their competitor's bank account into their market. right? It's like the Trojan horse. It's a Trojan horse. They already did. Sea of Thieves sold more than Stellar Blade on PlayStation. Yeah, 4 million copies. Stellar Blade sold 3.2, something like that, right? Bracken says exclusivities won't help Xbox as they don't have the console sales to back it up. And it's too late for this generation, so they try to convince people to buy their box day and date on PC is the smartest move for them. Yeah, again, they don't care if you buy the box, right? If you're a person that likes hard copies, go buy a hard copy. If you want digital, buy digital. If you want the box, buy the box. If you want to buy it on the phone, buy on the phone. They don't care. They'll take... Look, I will take 30% of a million than 100% of nothing. You see what I'm saying? I'll take 30% of a million over 100% of nothing. The exclusivity comment was for Wukong. Okay. 55 bucks for all those games? That's crazy. Waterbear says, Crimson Desert, could you imagine a Lord of the Rings game using those graphics and gameplay? Make it co-op, 4 players, and choose between the Fellowship characters? Oh my god. Well, Amazon's making a Lord of the Rings MMO. Let's see. I don't know if we're getting what you just said, but would be cool. K-Titan says, Crimson Desert has a built fan base from Black Desert Online. It's also a reason to not go exclusive. Yeah, but Titan, let's take this scenario, right? If PlayStation 5 right now was at 120 million consoles, that's a different story, right? It's a different story. If they come out and PlayStation's like, they like the deal, okay? They like the deal. There's 122 million people instead of 65 million people. That's a big difference. They would have been like, all right, we'll do it. But there's only 65 million. And I say only. But that's a big part, right? If you're coming out to only 65 million of a potential 1.5 billion, right? Just here, my YouTube channel, right? If you told me that, I mean, potentially I have 19 million people or billion or whatever it is to view, right? Or I'll give you this much money for 10 people to watch you. I'll be like, I would rather go for the 19 billion people that could potentially watch me, right? I'll take that any day. Because there's a chance, there's a high chance that something else will happen better than if I was just going for the small niche group. You can only play as the hobbits or the small grunt or trolls. PS5 blows says third-party PlayStation exclusive has been failing. I say no to. Why wait a year and actually make money where people buy games? Right, but think about it this way as well. Xbox, they're okay waiting. Like think about all the games they miss out on, and you have to wait 5 months, 9 months, 12 months, right? And then later down the road, that game comes to Game Pass. Right? So the people that didn't buy that game, okay, didn't buy that game, now it comes to Xbox and they're like, oh, it's on Game Pass, 20 bucks. They keep it. Maybe they only had their subscription model for 3 months. Now they keep it for 4. Now they keep it for 5. Now they keep it for 6. See, everyone's in this mindset that everyone that's on Game Pass is like an Xbox fanboy. And they're not. They're there because every month they're putting 6, 8 games, 9 games from Game Pass that they may have played or not played in the past that they'll keep it for that future, right? Everyone's like, oh, yeah, these are old games. Yeah, they are old games. But remember, if a game came out 5 years ago and it sold 5 million copies, and now it's on Xbox and it's an old game and you happen to play it, there's still like 250 million people that didn't play that game when it came out, when it sold 5 million copies, and now they can play it for 20 bucks. Right? Lots of people forget about that. Krebsy says the MMO of Lord of the Rings will just be Tales of the Shire, but bigger. PS5 Blow says people are on Game Pass because we like playing games. Yeah. Yeah. Look, I don't play as many games as I want to, Blows, okay? But my son, who's 10 years old, he plays so many games off Game Pass. So many games off Game Pass. It saves me a fortune, and it's worth 100% the money, right? Now, I'm just one person's specific scenario, right? I have a 10-year-old son, and I'm a gamer. We both play, and if I buy the game, okay, or just download the game on Game Pass, he can play it on his Xbox Series S as well, okay? So if I download it, he can download it. We share the same thing, okay? And it's 1,000% worth the money. There's so many. I can never say it's not worth my money. Right? I'm playing games on PC. I'm playing games on Switch. I'm playing games on Game Pass, on the cloud. The only thing I'm not playing is my PlayStation. And that's not because I don't like PlayStation. It's because the games that I played on my PlayStation, I love playing. God of War, Last of Us, Spider-Man, MLB The Show back then. But now MLB The Show is on Xbox. Right? I already played God of War. If I want to go back and play it, I play it. Okay? Spider-Man, I can wait. Right? I love Spider-Man. Miles Morales and 2018. I loved them. Okay? But I don't need to play those games. They're going to be there. They're going to be there. And not only are going to be there, but they're going to be cheaper down the road. Mokoki says, I think the big takeaway from the story is actually that the game developers want people to buy their games. This is guaranteed the highest return of their investment. That's exactly what I said in the very beginning, Mokoki. I don't know if you just came in or if you listened to the whole thing, but it's exactly right. People are like, oh, Sony wants to make the best games, the best quality. But these developers, it's such a risk to make a video game. It's such a high risk to make a video game. You're spending 3 to 5 years of your life making this game, and you want to put it out there. Obviously, you want to make a game, sell a game, okay? And you want to put it out there and have the best opportunity for you to make the best money possible. Rodriguez says, I wish Game Pass existed when I was a kid. I used to get 1 or 2 games a year. No, there was a thing like in Game Pass for you when you were a kid. Now, I don't know how old you are, but there's a thing called Blockbuster Video. It's exactly what it was. Oh, you're good, Mokoki. Obviously, as a streamer over the years that I've been here, I have to repeat stuff because I don't know if you just came in 3 seconds ago or if you came in 20 minutes ago or if you came in an hour ago. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's exactly what I said. I said this proves that developers, again, based on the amount of people in the studio. If it's a big studio compared to a really small independent studio, look at No Man's Sky, though. When it was on PlayStation, it was on PlayStation and PC, okay? It was broke, buggy, and unfinished when it came out. But when it opened up to everybody, it became much more successful. Jason says, personally, I would never sign up for Game Pass. It's not a business I believe in, and I don't see it being good thing in a few years. I totally get where you're coming from, Jason. As a consumer, as a father who has a son that wants to play video games, it's a great deal for consumers. For the future of video games down the road, there is a bad thing that could happen with this. Okay? Now, obviously, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I said in the beginning, I said Game Pass in the very beginning. I said this is going to be harmful for the industry, but it's a great deal for consumers. Okay, because what happens with Game Pass is what's happening with Netflix and people that have studios and develop stuff. They got to start making projects faster. Okay, to get your money worth out of a production, and we'll talk about Netflix in a second. But Netflix studios, okay. They've got to make production. So it used to take, let's say a television series used to film weekly on a regular basis, like on TGI Fridays, Married with Children, the sitcoms, Big Bang Theory. They would stream, they would make 22, 24 episodes, 26 episodes. They would record every week, and it would take 1 week to put it out there, and they put it out there. Okay? And that lasts for a long time. Now television shows, sitcoms are out the window. There's not very many sitcoms anymore. There still are, but they're filmed completely differently now. Now they're filmed in a much shorter period of time, right? Because they're trying to keep the process down, shrunken down, and then they throw it out there in a one lump sum. which they get less advertisement revenue and stuff like that for it because now they're going for that subscription model. They're going for the subscription model. Subscription model is good to a certain point, but then when there's oversaturation point, they got to make more money. That's what Netflix is trying to do with the ad revenue, the ad tiers, the higher tier when they're trying to do while they're getting in the gaming market. Same exact thing is going to happen with Game Pass and all these other streaming services down the line because they are about 10 years behind schedule of what the studios are doing for their streaming services. Okay, so down the line, we could have this conversation if I'm still streaming by then. Okay, which I probably will be. Let's be honest. They're struggling, okay? And that's what's going to happen here. They're in the growing phase right now for these streaming services, for Ubisoft Plus, EA Play, PlayStation Plus, Game Pass. This is the growing phase, okay? There'll be a saturation point at some point, and then what'll happen is that's when it's going to start hurting the games. Blockbuster Game Pass was awesome. I didn't like the game. I just go back and switch it. Yeah. Gaming says, if you are an indie dev, I'm sure that Game Pass checks are nice. 95% of the indie devs stop after the first game because they lose so much money, and Game Pass checks to ensure another game. Right. For small, we're talking small. Let's say like under 50 people in your studio gaming, right? They're giving money, cash money, and maybe it's 75. Again, I don't know how much money they're giving. It could be 25% of their total budget. It could be 50% of their total budget. It could be 75% of their total budget, and they're also on other platforms. So they get a nice chunk of money up front. Now they don't have to sell 500,000 copies. Now they only have to sell like 100,000 copies, which takes the pressure off of them, and they can just work on making the next game. Robert Jones says, Game Pass growing up was a boot disc on Dreamcast. I have that boot disc. I have 1,000. I think it's like it's 1,200 games on one disc. Yeah, I remember Blockbuster, but it's not the same. Game Pass is like having the whole Blockbuster at your house. Sure. I mean, yeah, it's much more expensive at Blockbuster because you would spend $7 or $5, $3, whatever. I forget what it was. I think it was $3 for like 2 days, 3 days. You come back. So if you played a lot of games, you're paying a lot of money. Altern says, do you think now that Xbox is planning on selling games on mobile, devs are going to be more inclined to develop games on their platform? They're not making games, though, for their... Well, I see what you're saying. The platform, like, if it's on Xbox, you can purchase it. Perhaps. We'll have to see where it goes, Altern. I would say yes. I would say yes, because if you're putting it on their platform, they have more potential buyers. So I would say yeah. But again, it all depends on how big the studio is. Krebsy says, there are benefits exclusively for ultimately for developers needs wait if those benefits are good enough. Right. Just like Phil Spencer said, it's a case-by-case scenario. Just like that for the developers. They're like, all right, we're making a game. How big is our game? How many copies do we want to sell? Well, we have this much budget, and we need to sell 100,000 copies, 200,000 copies, independent. We're talking like small. Like if I make a game myself, the amount of time I put in, I bring in another person, I put it in, and it's like, okay, we spent 100,000, maybe $1 million on the game. What do we need to sell? Well, we're selling it for $20. How many copies do we need to sell? Well, Game Pass is approaching us, and they said they'll give us this much. Well, that's 60% of our total budget. Yeah, let's take it. Let's take the deal, right? Each case-by-case scenario. Blockbuster had Game Pass. It was $20 a month, unlimited rentals for however long you needed, or switch them out. See, I never did that. I never did that, PS5. I totally forgot about the $20 a month. I totally forgot about that. What a good deal that was. All right, the next story you guys want to talk about was the Disney story. If you guys like what I do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning to noon Eastern, right? I don't want you to get bogged down by these console warriors. I don't want you to get bogged down by depressed news. We talk about news. We make fun of it. We have a good time. If you guys like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share the channel with other people, get more people in here. Okay, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We're gonna try something different on Fridays. We might do a watch party. We might make it just member stream only, like a member chat only, but it's open up to everybody else. If you're not a member on Fridays, you can't talk and chat, but you can watch the stream. We got lots of different things that we want to do, and I want to make good content for you guys. I want you to be entertained. I want you to be at work and enjoying yourself while you're listening. So I do appreciate you. If you're here for 1 second, 1 minute, or 1 hour, I do appreciate you. The next story we're going to be talking about is Disney to debut a Lightning Lane Premium Pass this month, but some guests may have sticker shock. So if you like what I do here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to be a member, give us a membership for as little as $5. Like I said, you get some emotes, you get a bunch of stuff. You get to go join our Discord, a bunch of other rooms in there. You get to vote on what thumbnail I use on the thing. So like right now, I choose a thumbnail to put on. I go back to the actual feedback channel afterwards, and if whoever has the most votes, I'll change that tag to the one that you guys voted on. All right. So I live in Florida. I have annual passes to Disney. I'm a Disney enjoyer. All right. I got a 10-year-old son. Me and my wife and my son, we go to there all the time. We'll just go there, ride Thunder Mountain, go home. We'll go there, just eat dinner, go home. Right. We'll go to Epcot. We'll go ride the Skyliners. Okay. We'll take a boat trip. There's so much to do. As a Floridian living 20 minutes away, there's a lot of value for what we pay. Water parks, miniature golf. There's just so much to do. Okay. So I'm an annual pass holder. Okay. We pay a lot of money to be an annual pass holder, but not as much as you think. Okay. But now Disney has seen the light of microtransactions, and they've taken it to the next level. Right. So it started back, and I might get the names wrong or whatnot, but there used to be a thing called Fast Pass back in the day. You would pay a park ticket, okay? You would take that park ticket, you would walk up to a machine, you would put your ticket in the machine, and it would shoot out a little ticket for you. It would tell you what time to come back to that ride. So if I wanted to go to, let's say, Space Mountain, okay, I would go up to the ticket thing, and I didn't want to wait in the long line that was there. I put my ticket in the machine, it would shoot out a Fast Pass. It was free. It was free. Okay, you could only have 3 fast passes, and once you used one, you go get another one. Okay, so you would come back. So if the line was an hour long, you would come back, and it would come back at noon, and then you would go into a separate line, and then you would just go in. Okay, well, Disney saw this and said, let's make it worse. So what they did was they made Fast Pass, and they turned Fast Pass to Genie Pass, and Genie Pass to Lightning Pass, and Lightning Pass, all of his stuff. Okay. So what they started doing was letting less people in the standard line, make the problem, sell the solution. So they would tell you it's an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours long to be in the standard line. They would take 10 people, let them go through the fast pass line, and make 2 people go in the standard line. It would move nice and slow, and people hated it or whatnot. Okay. They also at the parks, whatever the sign says, take 20 minutes off. Okay. They do it on purpose to try to FOMO you to purchase the Lightning Pass, okay, or whatever the fuck it's called now, Genie Pass, the Lightning Lane Premium Pass, okay? They try to FOMO you into going, oh shit, it's an hour and a half long, and yet there's no one in the fast Lightning Lane. So they want you to pay the money. So let's find out how much they would like you to pay for this, okay? So Walt Disney Company is set to pilot a new pass for guests to get the rides faster and its domestic theme parks, but the cost might be a bit out of a reach for some people. Disney said on Wednesday that the Lightning Lane Premium Pass, which is available in limited quantities, right? Let's make it even worse. Not only is it FOMO because you might not get on the ride, but there's only a limited amount, okay? Cocksuckers, okay? Debut at Disneyland on October 23rd, the Disney World on October 30th. The pass is for a one-time entry to each available Lightning Lane experience at the theme parks. And guests will still need to purchase a separate admission ticket to enter the parks. So there's a separate pass that there's limited quantities of, and you still have to purchase the ticket. It's not included. It's not included in the price of your ticket admission. It's just an extra on top of it, okay? Now, the pass is similar to Disney's existing Lightning Lane Single Pass and Lightning Lane Multi-Pass in that it's lets guests skip the standby line, or lets guests skip the standby line and use Lightning Lane entrance to join what typically a shorter line, okay? Many guests like to use such passes to try to save time so they can attempt to ride more attractions and partake in more park experiences, like shows and character meets and greets and new passes, which also similar to the offering other rival theme parks. It's meant to provide a convenience that some guests have been requesting. Okay, one of the perks for guests who purchase a Lightning Lane Premium Pass is that they will not have to choose specific arrival times for the attraction. This is different from Disney's Lightning Lane Single Pass and Lightning Lane Multi-Pass options, which require guests to select a specific arrival time. Okay, at Disneyland in Anaheim, California, Lightning Lane Premium Pass will cost $400 per person per day for visits to both Disneyland and Disney California Adventure, okay, through the end of the year, as long as the guests also have a valid admission ticket with the Park Hopper benefit. Starting next year, pricing will vary based on date and demand with $300 to $400 range, and the company said guests will be able to see pricing in the Disneyland app up to 2 days before the park visit. $400 on top of your already pass. So if I have a family of 4, okay, I only have a family of 3, but if I had an average family of 4, it would cost us $180 to $200 non-residential, right? If you're in Florida, you get a discount. So it would cost you about $180 to $200 to go into Magic Kingdom, okay? Then it would cost you another $400 to get on rides faster, okay? Those of you counting at home, that's an additional $1,600 on top of your $200 tickets. You are now at $2,400 just to go for a one-day pass to get into Disney World so you can get on the rides. It's insanity, okay? This is how much Disney is hurting. Because they make shitty products, because they're having bad script writers, because they can't make money off of their other entertainment purchases like Disney Plus, okay? They have to gouge the people because the parks is where they made all the money. Well, now there's less people in the parks because of the stuff that they've decided to do. They're also don't want annual pass holders in the thing because annual pass holders pay a certain amount of money and we have to wait in the long lines. We don't get discounts for food. You only get discounts for actual purchasing goods inside the thing for the shops, okay? And we have blackout dates. Not only do we have blackout dates now, but they also, where you have to reserve your time slot to get into the park because if they're overcrowded. Well, let me tell you something. They're never overcrowded anymore. We have to reserve spots, and they used to not let us in all day, but then they let us in after 2 p.m. because now 2 p.m. you get there, and there's nobody. There's nobody in the parks. And when I say nobody, it's not a ghost town, but you're waiting in line for 15, 20 minutes to get on the line. That's usually an hour to an hour and a half. And when it says an hour, it's not really an hour. We actually went on a ride that said 60 minutes. I looked at the line and went, no way, it's 60 minutes. We walked in, and we were on the line in 22 minutes, okay? They're trying to FOMO you to get the fast Lightning Lane. They're trying to FOMO you to let you know that you don't want to go over here, right? They don't care about the people that are giving them thousands of dollars a year that are locals. They want to gouge as many people possible outside of the state, okay? And this, I hope, backfires in their face because if you pay $400 to get into the line, you're going in the Lightning Lane line with the peasants that only paid $14 a day or $40 a day to get their Lightning Lane, and they have to schedule them on certain times. If you pay $400, you don't have to wait to come back a certain time. You just walk into the Lightning line and you can play, right? It is insane the amount of time right now that there's nobody in the parks. There's not waiting lists in certain restaurants. There's literally, I mean, they used to, before COVID, they used to pack out Magic Kingdom at like 80,000. Maxed out now is like 45,000. They won't let anybody else in. They make it seem like it's more crowded than it is. Okay? Let's continue. Okay? At Disney World Orlando, Florida, the Lightning Lane Premium Pass will be available to guests staying in deluxe resorts. deluxe villa resorts, and certain other hotels. Pricing will vary depending on the date in which the theme park is being visited. Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, and Hollywood Studios, Disney said that the prices will range from $129 to $449 per pass at launch, with the highest price occurring on limited number of days over peak travel periods. Okay. The Lightning Lane Premium Pass for Disney World will give guests a one-time entry to each available Lightning Lane entrance in one park for one day, and there are currently no options to use this pass in multiple Disney parks on the same day. Now, if you got a park hopper, okay, if you have a park hopper, which they stopped us from doing, you can park hop, but you have to make a reservation for the park, then you have to show up to that park, then you can leave and go to the next park, okay? If you're a person that spent $200, maybe you spent $800 to get to all the parks as a park hopper, okay? But now you go into Magic Kingdom, it's going to cost you $400 for Magic Kingdom. And then if you go to Epcot, it's going to cost you another $400 to get the Lightning Premium Pass to over there as well, okay? It says, aside from the various passes that Disney offers, guests will still be able to use standby lines at most of the attractions and experiences. The virtual queue is also available for a limited number of rides, and also those rides don't have standby lines, okay? Then there's lines that you can't even get to, like the Guardians of the Galaxy, you have to make reservations. The Tron ride, you have to make reservations. Like the newest rides, they have reservations where you can't even get, okay? You have to get in first thing and try to get the ticket, okay? Make the problem, sell the solution, FOMO all around. This is absurd, okay? They've made so many changes to Disney World over the years, and they keep raising the price for annual pass holders, okay? I, for one, this is our last year for annual passes, okay? For at least a couple years, right? For right now, anyway, right? We're ending come next year. I think June is when ours end, okay? All the stuff that they're doing, they're pushing away the consumers to go for this other consumers that they're not there. They're trying to do what PlayStation does, okay? They're trying to squeeze out the people that love your stuff, love your consoles, love what you make, and they're trying to raise that price up to try to squeeze you out as much money as possible because they can't get new people into the ecosystem, okay? They're doing exactly what Apple does. They're trying to do and squeeze as many people as possible, for they know that they're trying to get them out of the money because they can't get new people in. We've held annual passes for 10 years, 15 years straight, okay? And because they're doing this, they're losing me as a customer. And if that's what they want, by all means, see you later. I don't need to be there, okay? Because there's another theme park right down the road that's expanding, giving better discounts, better quality of stuff, giving more for your value of money, which is Universal Studios, which is right down the road that has 3 parks now, right? So they can keep doing this. It's just going to kick them in the ass because they're pushing out the people that love their system, okay, and love Disney, and we're there. It's just like when you sign up for like an internet provider. They give you a discount when you first start, but once you're in the ecosystem, they don't give two shits about you. They're looking for that new, how to acquire new people. Well, they keep raising the price on the people that love them, and they shit on them and push them out. So we're no longer going to be annual pass holders come next June because that's when it ends for us. And we're going to move on over to their competitor because their competitor, at least for right now, is a much better value than what Disney is doing. These are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. What do you think about, are you planning a trip to coming into Florida or going to California to take your kids and your family over to one of these parks? Let me know in the comment section down below what you think of this Lightning Premium Pass. And do you think it's absurd? If you're in the live chat, let me know. If you like what we do here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. Lucas says, let's talk about something happy like Disney. Kylo says, the worst thing that Disney had released... Oh, my voice just cracked. The worst thing that Disney has released in a long, long time. Yes, the optional, but it's beyond that. Kraken says, it's the FOMO Pass. The FOMO Pass. PS5 Blow says, standing in line at Disney World is part of the Disney experience. Yeah, but when they make it slow on purpose and longer on purpose, it's not good, especially sitting on the hot sun. What's next? Cut the sections of the park higher paying customers? They actually do that, Titan. They actually, at certain periods of time, like right now there's the Mickey's Halloween bash, whatever that happens at night. At 6 o'clock, they close the park down to your normies. And you got to pay extra money to come in to the park at night. Rebsy says they're basically asking you to buy another entry ticket with these prices. No. They're asking you to buy an extra 2.5 times the ticket prices, okay, on top of your ticket price. Okay, it's like $180 to get into Magic Kingdom, and then you're going to pay $400 on top of that. That's literally like 3 times, right? 2.5, 3 times the price of the regular ticket price. Sarge says, fuck off, Disney. Next, bring on Mario Land. May 22nd, 2025. We're already looking for hotels, Sarge. We're already looking for hotels to stay in so we can get in the park early to go on these things. PS5 says, Star Wars. Do you pay a mission just to eat dinner? No. It's part of your pass. So we have annual passes. So all you do is make a reservation to the park. You scan your bracelet or your ticket. You walk into the park. You go into dinner, and then you have dinner just like you would go to a restaurant. Only difference is you're going to Disney. They have some good food in some of the places. Sarge says, keep making the park more and more elitist. That's the game. Yep. Rebsy says the prices can fluctuate depending on the day between $130 and $450. Kylo says they didn't mention at Disney World you have to be staying at the deluxe hotel or even able to purchase it, only for the rich. Yeah, you have to. Well, you can. And here's the best part, which they don't actually tell you. You can't stay at the lower end hotels. Like if you stay at the Pop Stroke and stuff like that, you can't get these things, right? You get the other ones, but you can't get the high end one, right? So basically, what they've done, because the Star Wars hotel bombed so dramatically, wonderfully by the way, they're trying to make up for the cost of that, right? They were trying to make you pay $5,000 to have a Star Wars experience there, and now they're taking that money and throwing it towards that. Sort of like what PlayStation's doing with Concord, right? They got to make the money back somehow, so they're raising the price for other things. Everybody says, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the same thing they do with ticket prices. Ticket prices do vary, and this is another reason to be an annual pass holder, right? Because if you want to go for a day, it could be $200, it could be $140. It all depends on peak times, holiday season, whatever it is. But if you're an annual pass holder, you pay a one flat fee for the year, and then they raise it every year by like 10% or 20% or whatever it is. Sometimes they don't raise it at all. Here's a solution: just don't go. Yeah, that's correct. They're going to lose us as customers. We spend thousands of dollars at Disney every year, not including the ticket packages that we get for annual passes, by just going and spending on food and drinks and all this other stuff, memorabilia and whatnot. No more. They're losing us completely as a customer because of their business practices. Peak times, when he's saying peak times, it's like Christmas, blackout dates, holidays, weekends, any type of stuff like that. Peak times when more people are down for spring break or summer break or winter break. Like you can go a ticket on Monday and pay $120 to get into Magic Kingdom, but if you go on a Friday, it's going to cost you $180. And if it's a holiday and you're on the weekend, it could cost you $200. It's like gas prices. World says there are already other theme parks that do this, and people do it all the time. People hated it at first, but now it's norm. Sure, they do this in all theme parks, okay? But now they're being egregious, where it started where it was free. Then it was $10. Then it was $40. Now it's $400, right? They see, and here's the best part. people were complaining so much because so many people were going in the fast pass line that there was more people in the fast pass line than the standard line. The standard line was moving faster than the fast pass line. And the best way to describe this, I have a story of like when I used to live over by UCF and I used to work at Universal Studios behind the scene on the back lot. Okay, I would have to drive. If those of you in Florida, I would have to drive on the 408 to get to I-4 and I-4 to take me to Universal. Well, on 408, they just started putting, this is 20 years ago, they were just putting SunPass. Okay, SunPass is that like toll, like you might have E-Pass, you might have whatever you have in your state. Okay, they had where you had to pull up to the toll plaza, drop in coins, and then you would go through. Well, then they made 2 lanes that were just SunPass, where you didn't have to stop at all. You could just go through. So a very small amount of people had SunPass. So there was 18 things of people paying coins and 2 lanes of SunPass. Well, here we are 20 years later. Now there's no toll plazas, and it's just one big, huge gate that you can fly through at 70 miles an hour at SunPass. Okay, well, back then, there was traffic backing up, waiting in line to get through the toll plaza, and you would be late for work or whatever, so then you would purchase SunPass, and then you just fly through. Well, then more people started getting SunPass, and then SunPass started getting more busier. So there was a line over here, okay, and then the line going through here because people couldn't merge and get through the 2 lanes, so then they had to expand it, okay? Well, then there was no lines and there was 2 plazas for tolls where you paid cash, and everybody else was SunPass going through the 2 lanes, and then they had to expand 3 lanes, and there was construction and whatnot. So it was actually faster to pay coins than it was to go through with SunPass, and that's the exact same thing that's happening with this stuff, right? The exact same thing. They used to have a package behind the scenes for Disney World. If you stayed at a hotel, you could pay extra money and get a tour with a you would have your own Disney representative walk you around the park. You would walk up to the thing and then you would walk in and get on the rides, and you would pay less than what they're paying now. You would pay, I think it was $150 to $200 to have your own personal tour, and you would get on all the rides and whatnot. Now you're paying $400 per person, and there's no tour, and you have to wait in the line with the rest of the people that have Lightning Lane and whatnot. The only benefit is that you're going in the line at any time you want, but you only get one time on each of the rides. But you still have to wait in line with the Lightning Pass, a Fast Plus or Genie Plus or whatever else it is. Kylo says, I pray that just as bad as Star Wars Galaxy, Star Wars Cruiser Hotel Nightmare. Yeah, it's going to backfire on them. You're going to have 10 people in the park paying you $400 and everybody else is going to be gone. I'm pretty sure park ticket prices go up and down depending on how many people are in the park. So yes, peak times. No, it's actually been proven, Krebsy, that they just raise it because it's Friday and Saturday. I could tell you because I'm an annual pass holder and my ticket prices don't go up. So if I show up on Monday or Friday, I can tell you how many people are in the park on a Monday and how many people are on a ticket on a Saturday or a Friday. And let me tell you, sometimes it's less people on the weekend because they don't want to pay the exorbitant prices. COVID completely screwed up the parks. Let me tell you, the best time to go to Disney World, when we used to go 20 years ago, it was like during COVID. When you went to COVID, there was nobody in the parks. You would sit back, get on rides in 10, 15 minutes. It was beautiful. Okay? This is my favorite time to go during COVID. Okay? Then once the parks opened back up and people weren't afraid to wear masks anymore, then it got 50% less people got to go in the parks now because they lowered the peak points or the peak attendance. Okay? And now they just raised the ticket prices and they raised the standby times to just show you that it's actually bigger than it is, but it's not. There's nobody in line, right? So the average person doesn't know that, but a person that's been to the park, I can look at a line and go, that's 10 minutes, that's 20 minutes, that's 30 minutes. I can tell you by looking at the line. Kurt says, my brother went every year and said he was done with Disney. Now he goes to Universal Studios. Universal Studios is a madhouse. There's so many people. So many people. Sounds like a fast food restaurant, fluctuating prices depending on demand. But remember, the movie theaters are doing that in some theaters, right? Certain chains are charging you, if you want to sit dead center, you're going to pay more than the person that sits on the outside. This is why we're going to stay in a hotel at Universal. So there's like 4 hotels that you stay in. You pay a little bit of premium price, but you get to go into the park like 2 hours early. And it's only people that in the hotels that can go. And then you can get in there. You can go on some of the bigger rides much faster. I don't mind the increasing prices, and that's why you're the problem, Dustin. I know it sounds bad, but you're the problem. The person, the annual pass holder, the person that keeps that park running when they're slow, okay, they're screwing us over, okay, for greed to get the smaller percentage. This is the same thing that's happening with trying to go for this market that doesn't exist, the modern audience that doesn't exist, and this is why projects are failing. They're doing the exact same thing with the parks now. This group of people that want to pay $2,000 to take their family after working their asses off all year long to take their family on a reasonable vacation, Walt Disney World would turn over in his grave. He literally started the park so you could afford to take your family to a fun place, and now you can't even afford to take them out to dinner in the park. So, by all means, the 100 families that take their kids into the park and have the whole park to themselves, but then the park will shut down because it'll be like Wally World, okay? Nobody can run or operate because they can't afford it because they're the 10 families paying $400 or $4,000 to take their family there can't afford to operate the actual park. So they'll be like, oh, you want to go on this ride? Well, let's go over there. Let's turn the ride on for you. Boop. Oh, this is Space Mountain. Let's get on there. Hold on 1 second. My wife is arguing with me what the article says. Krebsy says, so when does the Disney mortgage program start? Because you're gonna need to go. Kylo says, past 3 years I've been at Disney World twice, and the next week I'm going to Disneyland, and we have a trip in May in Disney World. Honestly, making me rethink my trip with this in the news. Walt was alive, he'd be attacking the people with his with his cane for the stupidity. Everybody says, I might be looking too much into this, but we noticed that the last week that Travis leaves, the PlayStation 5 Blow shows up. Could just be coincidence? Oh, you're saying that they're both the same person? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe all of you are the same people. Maybe these are all bots I'm talking to. Maybe I'm just crazy. Okoki says, I had a miserable experience the last time I went to Disneyland in California. I had to buy an extra Genie Pass because my girlfriend's friend had them. $1,300 later, I had our tickets. Way too much money. What, you didn't enjoy yourself, Makoki? Just buy the blue milk. I heard it was it tastes awful. It's not bad. It's not bad. It doesn't taste great. What baffles me is Disney diehards are defending this. Yeah, these are the same people that think that because they're paying $5,000 for the same experience they had at $2,000, that it's worth it. I mean, obviously, anything's worth it if you're having fun. But what they don't understand is that they themselves will not be able to fund the park because there's not enough people. There's not enough people. Do you know why Epcot is successful and how much money they made? They used to make it where the Food and Wine Festival was literally, it started off at like 2 weeks. It was like 2 weeks, and now it's like 4 months long. Okay? And not only is it 4 months long, but they take the food and wine and they turn it into the flower show, which turns into the food show, which turns into the whatever show, right? So every month now basically is the Food and Wine Festival at Epcot because they were making so much money off of the food and the beverages, okay? So much so they opened up, actually, you could drink beer in Disney World now, okay? At certain locations, okay? Why? Because they were broadening their audience. They were bringing more people in to enjoy these things. And then once they had it to its saturation point, they're like, let's turn it up and let's start to screw them over. Right. The Fast Pass line is no longer fast. That's right. The defense that I've been getting is that it's an optional, and they call it killjoy for calling out the Instagram post. Well, here's the thing: when you pay, you got to remember, I'm a local, right? My buddy came in, I think it was like 2 years ago, to take his family, right, with airfare, hotel, parks, food, everything. He was here for I think 1 week, and he spent close to 10 grand, okay, for all the stuff, okay. To stand in line, spending the amount of money you spent to get there, to stand in line where other people are just walking by you because they spent another $400, okay, is ridiculous. Not only do they make the problem, but they sell the solution, and they're selling it to you like Ubisoft for $130 for the same copy of the game that you can pay $18 for. If it becomes unaffordable to the middle class, then you've lost. Right, Jason. And this is what they don't understand. See, the upper echelon of people, they think they make the world go round when it comes to stuff like this, right? That's when you go to a museum and it's like these pieces of art that no one can afford except the high-end people, and you sell one piece and you're happy for the... That's not what Disney World is. You need the amount of people to come into that park because the parks fund other things in the industry, right? The parks make so much money that they fund the movie studios, they fund the shows, they fund all the other things. It's the most profitable thing they have. Well, now there's less and less people going to the parks. Less and less people are spending money in the parks. So now they're trying to squeeze the money out of the upper echelon of people to spend more money, and that'll never be the amount of money that they were making with the masses. What's happening with Bungie? You can rewind and check out what we talked about with Bungie. Roadkill says, I've never been to Disneyland, Disney World. I've only been to Busch Gardens very long ago. Busch Gardens is a great park. If you're a roller coaster junkie, Busch Gardens is a great park for roller coasters. Yeah, we're gonna go see the new Epic Universe park when it opens up sometime next year. We'll probably go this time next year, like this time next year. We won't go when it opens. That'd be crazy. They got Disney stock. We have Disney stock. That's not a reason to price out. Like, if I don't want less people going to Disney, I want more people to going to Disney. Roadkill says the middle class is basically getting the wipe out. Is either you're poor or you're rich, and there's no more middle class. Right. You just get tossed into the bottom. I've never been to Disneyland. Listening, I don't want to ever go or see it changing. I've never been to Disneyland myself, Hilly. We would like to go to Disneyland, but man, it's a much smaller park. Living in Orlando and going to Disney World, Disneyland's like a third of the size. They're surrounded by LA, right? They don't have the land to grow. Good Papa says, I'd rather spend $10,000 on a PC, something else that's going to use, or maybe overseas for a vacation for that price. Oh, yeah, you could go on a much better vacation for a shit ton less. Sarge says, I shorted Disney stock. Thank you, Disney Films. Less people going to Disney, stock goes down. More people going to Disney, stock goes up. That's right. He says, I have no idea. We would have to buy flights on top. Yeah. Disney World is in Florida. Disneyland is in California. They have cool parks. You can go to other parks too. There's parks across. They're like subleased to the countries. There's China. There's Paris. Paris got bought back, I think, by because they were failing because no one was going. Imagine that. Imagine a park that you build for thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of people. And they don't have tens of hundreds of thousands of people. They have 10 people, right? Charge 10 people $1 million each. That's fantastic. You made $10 million. Then what do you do for the rest of the year? Right? Right? Going back to the same thing we just talked about with the third party. Why would they go for one park? If they can get as many parks as possible, right? Why would you wring out the people, the upper echelon, to try to make the money that you're missing because the park attendance is down, you squeeze out from these other people, okay? Now, a lot of people have more money than time, okay? And they'll pay that price, but those people will not cover the amount of people that will not go to that park anymore. It just won't happen. Then people lose their jobs, right? So less people work at the actual parks. Less people come to the parks. Less people buy the food. Less people buy the memorabilia. Less people, right? And then what they do, because they're not selling the products anymore, they do these big sellouts now, right? Where they put them out to these third-party stores, or they open it up to other people, where that lightsaber that was $210, I got for $50, right? Because people weren't in the parks to buy it. Then they put it out to another place, and then you buy it, okay? But hey, you do you, Disney. You do you. Business 101. You don't want to, if you're a small company, you don't want to expand too quickly because you could be detrimental to you, right? But when you're Disney World, you need tens of thousands of people, millions of people to come into your park every year to cover the cost of what you're doing. They're the biggest employer in the state, right? $77,000 cast members in Disney World. All the parks and stuff. 77,000 people. How many people do you think have to come in the park to just get their $25 an hour jobs that they have there now? Yeah. $400 for a fast pass line. Oh, wait, we can't afford to fix the rides when the maintenance goes up, belly up. Oh, we can't afford the drinks. We can't afford the other stuff. Fantastic. You do you, Disney. You do you. They're the largest employer. One of the reasons we don't pay state income tax, okay, between the toll roads and Disney. It brings in so much revenue to the state, and yet they're almost trying to sabotage it. Is Disney too big to fail? No, nothing is ever too big to fail. Don't ever listen to that. Remember Rome? Remember Rome? Nothing's too big to fail. If you have the wrong people in charge of what you're doing, anything can fail. Never say never. Right? All you need is one idiot to run a company into the ground. Case in point, Kathleen Kennedy. Taking a untouchable IP of Star Wars and shitting on it in less than 5 years. It's very... that's an applaud for... It's an amazing task to do. Yeah, there's so many big areas, right? Too big to fail. Yeah. Ask the Germans how that worked out for them, right? Yeah, nothing's too big to fail. Microsoft is not too big to fail. Apple is not too big to fail. All you need is one idiot to run a company, wrong person in office, and that's why the board of directors get rid of people real fast when they see a turn. Okay. All right, let's go with this last story over here. The next story is Netflix closes a AAA game studio in Southern California. You guys like what I do here? We do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning to about noon Eastern. We cover news stories, have conversations with chat. Chat is 100% part of the show. If you guys like it, we're just trying to get you through a couple hours of your day in the middle of the day. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you'd like to go above and beyond that. Share this channel with other people, and also become a member as low as $5. We do appreciate you very much. If you're here for 1 second, 1 minute, or 1 hour, I do appreciate you. All right, so Netflix closes a AAA game studio in Southern California. Team Blue was intended to develop big-budget titles for multiple devices. So Netflix shut down as one of the gaming studios less than 2 years after its opening. As they first spotted a game file, Netflix recently closed a AAA gaming studio known as Team Blue. Located in Southern California, it was opened as part of the streaming giant expansion into the video game world. The studio promised to introduce innovative projects that also were different from a previous released Netflix gaming titles that immersed them for a high-budget strategy for multiple devices. Now, Team Blue was opened in 2023. Netflix invited many industry professionals from video game companies such as Blizzard, Bungie, and also Santa Monica Studios to work on its projects. Thus, at the end of 2022, Netflix hired Blizzard's Kako Sony, an Overwatch executive producer, to create a studio later in 2023. Joseph Staten, a creative lead in Halo games at Bungie and 343 Industries, joined the studio, and he called it a brand new AAA multi-platform game of original IP, which indicated Netflix's determination to grow in the gaming sphere. Raphael Grasity, former God of War art director and Santa Monica, also joined the team shortly after. Okay, First, Netflix entered the video game sphere in November of 2021 by launching a Netflix Games, which allowed subscribers to play 5 iOS and Android titles through Netflix subscriptions. From then on, the company has also expanded to games that list over 70 items and currently owns 6 video game studios, including Spry Fox, Next Games, Night School Studios, and the games that Netflix has worked on include renowned titles such as Triple Town, Cozy Grove, Walking Dead mobile games, Oxenfree under the Netflix umbrella, and however, it's reported that less than 1% of Netflix subscribers played base games daily. So don't forget to join the 80 level talented platform and Telegram channel. Follow the Instagram. Yeah, so basically, Netflix threw their hat in the ring just 2 years ago to make their first AAA game studio to have, and they took big talent, Joseph Staten and all these other people that have left, and they tried to make a studio, and then all of a sudden now they just said, you know what? It's going belly up. We're releasing. I wonder, and I'm taking big leaps here. I wonder if the studio was doing something along the lines, and it'll come out if it is, right? I'm just making a speculation here. Studios fail every single day, right? We don't hear a lot about a lot of them, right? But imagine that we hear that this game that they were creating at this AAA studio at Netflix was more of a DEI, SBI type of thing, and they just cut their losses right off the bat. Potential. I'm just saying it could be plausible, okay? But I would love to hear why they closed the studio. That doesn't say in the article why they closed it. They just said they are closing it. So all this big name talent, yet only 1% of the people play their daily games over on Netflix. Well, it's still a bit of value and also a bit of money that they can make off people, because if people are coming in for that 1%, Netflix, we talk about this in the past. Can you imagine if Netflix tossed out money and said Grand Theft Auto 6, 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, only on Netflix? That would be insane, right? That would bring a lot of people into their Netflix market for gaming. Obviously, I don't think it's going to happen, but what my point is all it takes is to throw some money at a company that's known. Like Netflix could pick up Ubisoft instead of Tencent, and all of a sudden now Netflix is making a lot of money from the gaming industry. Okay, so it's interesting to see what Netflix is going to do now, because they have a lot of games in the pipeline. Lots of them are mobile games. This was going to be their first AAA game, and now they just kind of pushed it off to the side because maybe it was just as easy as, well, we have this much money into it now. We got to wait another 2 years before we can make money off of it. It's just not worth it. Okay, I would love to know more about why Netflix decided to close this studio down. Was it too much of cost effectiveness? Was it they didn't know where they were going with the game? Was the game a problem and they knew, they're like, oh well, we already have it based in this. It's not going to work out because of the way the industry is moving. I don't know. These are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Let me know in live chat, what do you think happened to this Netflix studio? Why are they closing their AAA game studio down? Is it just the state itself? Maybe they're just like it's too costly to have that in the States over there. Who knows? Let me know in the thoughts in the comment section down below or in the live chat. Please make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. I do appreciate you, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Sarge says, it's not KK's fault, bro. Your fault, because you're racist. Yep. Exactly why Star Wars failed. Robert Jones says, Netflix makes games? Clip says, I don't think they have yet. They were planning on it. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? I wonder if Staten was buying cars. Maybe. Maybe he was buying cars. Maybe they called him up and said, hey, we got openings at Bungie over here. You want to come back over? Who knows? Argus says, I didn't know Netflix even had a game studio yet, and they all are already closing it. They have a couple of studios. They have 6 studios. That was the 7th. That was the first AAA studio. You didn't even know. Out of sight, out of mind. I'll still stand by it. Netflix is one purchase away from being a contender in the gaming industry, right? And they're at their saturation point, right? Do they put more money into making original content on Netflix? Do they put more money into the gaming market to try to get that saturation point of, if there's 200 million people, which Game Pass wants to get to, they want to get to 100 million, right? Netflix is at 200 million. They're at that saturation point. So how do they bring in more value? How do they bring in more people, right? They can't squeeze the people they have for more money. They tried. That's why they did the double accounts, right? So now they bring in a gaming studio to bring that extra percentage of money in, 1%. Okay. So do they throw money and say, hey, yeah, we'll buy an Ubisoft, we'll buy a Square Enix, we'll buy something else to see if we can get that money and get our name in, throw our hat in the ring. Okay. When Microsoft talked about in the future, they're not worried about PlayStation and Nintendo. They said they're worried about Amazon and Google is what they said, right? Or I think it was Apple and Google. Okay. They're worried about these big players in the game that are not gamers. They're not game companies themselves, but at the same time, they have a lot of cash on hand and they could just buy a company. Like if Google bought EA, or if Apple bought EA, or Amazon buys Ubisoft or Square Enix, then all of a sudden, that's a huge chunk that now they're because now Ubisoft, let's say Apple buys Ubisoft. Let's just say this, okay? Apple buys Ubisoft. Now Apple owns the rights to the streaming of Xbox games on cloud. You see what I'm saying? I don't know how it would work out, logistically, if they would own it or not. But let's just say they did. All of a sudden, they buy Ubisoft. Now they have some of the biggest games. And when they make money over on Xbox and Microsoft, it feeds into Apple, right? They're making more money for Apple now. Right? Then you have the exclusive thing, right? Sort of like what Sony does, right? Sony could get GTA 6. Xbox could get GTA 6. Amazon could throw money at GTA 6. Someone could throw money at them. And then all of a sudden, something that we never thought of, all of a sudden is in existence where we're like, damn, Netflix's exclusives got GTA 6 for 2 months? You don't think a lot of people would go get Netflix for 2 months just so they can play GTA 6? I'm not saying it's happening. I'm just giving an example of. You know what I mean? Alterm says the first and last AAA studio. Kurt says that Netflix could be a giant if cloud gaming works. Right. And even if you don't even look at the AAA market, or if you just look at Netflix and they're just in the mobile market, right? Right now, if I go to Opera GX, right? If I go to Opera GX and you look at this stuff right here, right? These are games that you can play right in the browser. Okay? I just click on a game, right? I just click on a game and it'll open up and I can start playing the game. Right? I can start playing the game, or I can purchase it for $5 right here. Okay? Right? This is in Opera GX. Right? And this is probably a minuscule percentage of the stuff. But imagine if Netflix now does this and it's everywhere. Right? Which it is everywhere because Netflix is everywhere. You can get it in their app. Okay? But I could play a game directly in my browser right now. Well, if someone like Apple, who's the leader in the gaming market, I think at like 6%, 7%, they're the ones that are leading the market in mobile phones. Well, now Netflix can compete with them by doing what they're doing, right? But yeah, I can just play the game, right in here. So it's that simple, right? It's that simple that I can play a game. So if we could do that with Netflix, right, and Netflix all of a sudden puts a game in, it changes the complete landscape, which goes back to what we said in the very beginning of the thing about third-party exclusives and whatnot, right? Why, if you were a developer, would you just sign with one entity when you could be on all platforms across the board and give you the best shot to make the most money possible? Robert says, "Have you ever played a Netflix game? And if you had, why are you like this?" I did actually play a Netflix game because they own Oxenfree. We played Oxenfree 2 because I played Oxenfree 1 many years ago, and then they bought Oxenfree 2 and released it on Netflix, and we played it on, I think, Steam. But yeah, that's a Netflix game. They own that. 30 Night School Studios, Next Games, Boss Fight Studios, and one in Eternal Studio. That's what Netflix has right now. Yeah, it was said in the article. Yep. I'd like to know if you're working on a new IP or an IP that Netflix owns, like Stranger Things. They have little games based on the shows that they have, but they don't have like a AA or AAA game on that platform, like for those games. At least not yet. That's what I'm saying, Kurt. Now, obviously, it's far fetched because, you know, for many reasons. But just imagine, okay, okay, if Grand Theft Auto got signed by anybody else other than PlayStation and Xbox. Imagine Amazon has an exclusive, right? Let's say Stadia was still out in the world, and all of a sudden they paid for the exclusive for 6 months for Grand Theft Auto 6 on Stadia type of thing. It's that easy for a large conglomerate company to throw some money at it and all of a sudden be a player in the game. But have you played on Netflix? We tried a couple of months ago, or last year, I guess, maybe when they first said it, right? I did it on stream. I put it on and looked at it. I was like, nah. Look at YouTube. In the YouTube app, you can play games in the YouTube now. Okay? Google is in the gaming space, right? Why can't I? Right? If I go to home, they have games that are just here. And you're like, and people play it. I played one or two of them on YouTube. I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. Right? But they have games inside of YouTube now. Google's in the gaming market. Shitty, cheap mobile games. But they're still there. Yeah, they have 7 studios still. Is it 7 or 6? 6. Let's see. They have 70 items and currently own 6 video game studios. Yeah, they own 6 video game studios, and they have 70 titles in the works. Right? Now, when you say 70, obviously, there's not AA, AAA games. These are 70 titles for their mobile app type of thing. I watched a video yesterday. Of Destin Laguerre talking about Sean Layden, talking about the industry, you know, the ex Sony executive. And it was funny to me because I've been saying this stuff for years. And Sean Layden made some points in his article, and Dustin said he's been saying it for years as well. I thought it was interesting because it's finally people are starting to see about the way the turn of the industry is going with the exclusivities and how more companies want to make more games in more places, right? Where it's not about the exclusivity deals anymore, because that's the old school of console thought, okay? The console process, where it's now more about how many things. It'll be very interesting to see. You'll know the industry's changing if Nintendo starts to drop in the next generation of their console or whatnot, if they start to drop their titles on other systems. Now, I don't think it's going to happen, but what I'm saying is if Nintendo starts to take a first-party title and puts it on other consoles, then you know shit's happening, okay? I don't think it will for Nintendo as far as a one-to-one. Like, they'll do like the Mario Kart on mobile and games like that. I don't see a one-to-one like what you could play on the Switch 2 will come to like PlayStation or an Xbox. But when you do, watch out. Watch out. But you will see Nintendo's starting to take more third-party games that are on Xbox and PlayStation and bringing them over to Switch. Or the next rendition of the Switch. Haven't you done a podcast with Dustin, or was that Lono? I don't think I've done. I mean, we used to have people come on all the time. I don't remember Dustin coming on the thing. Oh, you're talking about Dustin Laguerre. He was on the show No, was he on the Rageous Roundtable? We did many shows with many different people. We did on, but I don't remember if he was on the Rageous Round Table. I've met Dustin. We talked a couple times in real life at conventions and stuff like that. But I don't remember if he was ever on the Rageous Round Table. I think he was supposed to come on. I don't think he ever did, though. We had lots of people. We had Lupo and Grenader Jake and like a shit ton of people came on. Glad. Krebsy was saying, I was saying this for the end stream, but earlier the topic of college students stupid. So I put on video in general about Gen Zs can't answer the most basic questions. All right, let me see. Is this safe? Is this safe for work, Krebsy? Is this like there's nothing wrong with it, right? It's just people asking stupid questions or asking questions. I mean, you're a mod, so I'll take a link that you send me, but I just want to make sure we're not gonna get a boob or something on it, are we? All right.
Do you know how many stars there are?
Wait, hold on. Oh, hold on. I gotta.
On the U.S. flag?
52?
Yes. What state?
That's wrong. That's wrong. But I know she's wrong, but it's wrong that he's affirming that it's correct. That's the problem. That's wrong that he said, yes, that's correct. Right? Like, please educate the people.
What state is Utah in?
Michigan?
Did you just say Utah was in Michigan? Is that what she just said? Did she just say that?
Yes. You know what state Utah is in?
Utah, to be honest with you, I never heard of that place ever in my life. I live under a rock.
Can you name?
You're living somewhere. It's definitely not underneath the rock. Like, what are we talking about?
Name 3 countries besides the USA.
I suck at history.
I can't, Krebsy. I can't. Name 3 countries I suck at history. I want to punch a monitor.
I was like, my worst subject. Can we do like science?
Yeah. Let's do science. Let's see you do science. Yeah, history is her worst subject. Science is probably her best.
No. Any three. You know this.
A country? Oh my jeez, this is
There's 2 of them attached to the fucking country you're in.
terrible. Oh my god. Country. Wait, besides the U.S.?
Yeah.
Huh? Ah! I'm sorry, I can't.
All right.
Now, look, I understand people get upset or get not upset. They'll freeze in front of a camera when they're asked a question and stuff like that. I totally get that.
All right, it's fine.
I can't do history. I can't.
Do you know how many dimes there are in the dollar? Make up $1.
A dime is the 10-cent or the 5-cent?
I'm sorry, what did she say? Did she just ask if the dime is the 10-cent or the 5-cent? What are we talking about? This has got to be fake, right? These people can't be this stupid. They can't be this stupid.
You tell me.
don't know.
And the body language, okay, the body language of is because they're so embarrassed they're fucking stupid.
Can you name 3 countries besides the USA?
Damn.
Any 3. You know this.
I bet you they could name like a celebrity's like pet. I bet you they could name all the Kardashians. I bet you they could they know who the Hawk 2 girl is.
Canada? New Mexico, right?
For a second, I was like, oh yeah, she's got it. Canada? Okay. And then she said New Mexico.
That's good?
Yeah.
Damn, I need one more.
Yeah, you need one more. New Canada. What? Just say it. Just say New Canada.
Damn.
Yeah, so you got Canada, New Mexico, and what?
Damn. I need to go back to school.
Yes. Yes, you do.
You know how many states there are in total in the U.S.?
100.
How many continents are there?
3.
Pepsi, I hate you. I'm gonna ban you after this show, okay?
Continents?
Yeah.
Yes. Do you know what 2 countries border the U.S.?
So bordered?
Yeah, like on the borders.
The only border I know is
Come on, you can say it. You can say it. The only borders you know of the country that you're in, there's only 2 you can say.
Puerto Rico and Mexico.
Did he just say Puerto Rico? Bro, did he just say Puerto Rico? Puerto Rico? Our education system is a laughable stock of the entire world. The alien race will come down and blow us up. Please, just please.
Yes. Who fought in the Civil War?
Who fought in the Civil War? She's going to say the Germans. She's going to say the Germans.
I don't know. You talking about president-wise?
Did she just say the president-wise? Oh my God. Titan says Captain America. That'd be great. Who fought in the Civil War? Oh, that would be Winter Soldier and Captain America.
No, the people. Who against who?
I don't know that one. I know it had to do like what with France and I don't know the other one.
France and who? You're close.
This man's evil. This man is evil by agreeing with them saying that they're correct. It's fantastic, by the way, but he's evil.
France and the British are the same thing, right?
France and Britain are the same thing. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So, damn, I don't know.
Who did they fight against?
Us?
Hilly says same. We. I have this anger ball in my stomach right now. I have this anger ball in my stomach right now that it's just swirling around.
Yes. Do you know what continents we're on right now?
He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know where he is.
Do you know who fought in the Civil War?
Who fought in the Civil War? Fuck. Like from the president?
Why do they keep asking that? How do you not know?
No, like who against who?
It was the Nazis versus Germany. No. Yes. No.
Did she
I'ma
just
say
say
yes,
Nazi
but
versus
correct me if I'm
Germany?
wrong.
Bro! My wife comes in and says, because I said bro, she's like, you're not 10. Fucking Christ.
Yes.
See, this is wrong. What he's doing right now is wrong. He said yes, and she's excited because now it's not affirmed her that the Nazis versus Germany is correct.
Actually, just guessed that.
Nah. Yeah. I'm kind of smart.
You didn't know that?
I'm kind of smart, bro. Bro, you are not smart.
Did they teach you that in school or what?
They taught me it, but I just guessed it now. But
Yeah, so
it's
you're
like
probably,
I forgot. But
yeah,
I mean,
it was probably in the back.
Oh my god, dude. I'm powering up. I'm powering up like a Dragon Ball Z character right now. I'm like, yeah! I'm getting so angry. I'm getting so angry about this, Carbsy.
Back of your head and like it came up.
yeah.
How many Kardashian sisters can you name?
Kendall Jenner, Kylie Jenner, Kim Kardashian.
And there you go. There you go. She knows they're Kardashians before the Civil War. Unfucking no, you know what? It is believable. It is believable.
Khloe Kardashian.
And look how fast she's rambling them off.
Kourtney Kardashian. Is that all? That's all.
Yeah, that's all of them.
You forgot the mom.
For sure.
Smart.
Oh, you're so smart. High five, girlfriend. So smart. So smart. Valedictorian. Valedictorian right here.
You're a genius. How many seasons are there?
8.
Come on. Come on. How many seasons are there? She's going to say like paprika. She's going to say like salt and pepper. Right? Right? She's not going to actually say seasons. She's going to think seasonings. It's got to be something along the lines of this, right?
June, July, August.
Oh, thank God she's naming the months. Get out of here! What are we talking about? God! I hate you, Krebsy.
December. 8? No,
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said 8.
I can't stop watching this. It's like watching a car crash. You just got to look at this.
Yes. Can you name 3 countries besides the USA?
3 countries.
Yeah.
Canada, Mexico, and
Come on! Come on, you're so close.
Asia. No, Asia. Yeah, Asia.
Yes. What state is Utah in?
Utah? I don't know what Utah.
I don't know Utah.
I'm terrible. Best friend.
Spell terrible.
I don't know. I don't know
You look up?
history. Like that history, world history stuff. I don't like. I'm math.
You know what 3 times 3 times 3 is?
3 times 3 times 3. 3.
No, you know this.
Yeah, I know this.
She doesn't know this.
Stop. Hold on.
Just ask them what their name is. At this point, just ask them their name.
Nah, because that's supposed to be a trick. That's supposed to be a trick thing. But like, I gotta do it in
A trick thing.
my head. Sorry. 9 and then 9 times 3. Damn. Damn. Oh, 36.
What's 3 times 3 times 3?
It's 3 times 3 times 3. Alright. 36.
Why do they keep saying 6? Why do they keep saying 36?
Yes. What's 3 times 3 times 3?
3 times 3 times 3?
If I stood on my head, that's what my hair would look like off my face.
9 times 3. But I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. I'm retarded.
Yeah, take a guess. A number.
I'm sorry, did he just... Hold on.
9 times 3. But I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. I'm retarded.
At least he knows. At least he knows. He said it. He said it, not me. He called himself retarded.
Yeah, take a guess. A number.
Like 36?
Why do they keep saying 36? Why do they keep saying 36?
Yes. What's 3 times 3 times 3?
12.
Yes. Do you know what continent we're on right now?
No.
Bro. I'm assuming. I know what happens when you assume. I'm assuming all the people that he's interviewing, based on what they're wearing, with the bracelets and the flag around them and all this stuff, they're protesting against certain things. If they don't know where they are, then how do they know what they're fighting for?
I don't know none of that.
Do you know who the current vice president is?
Vice president? No, I don't know his name, but I know.
I don't know his name.
Well, I heard of it. I don't know.
You don't remember his name?
I know.
These people vote. These people vote. These are voters.
He's from Bulldog, if I'm not mistaken.
What's the capital of Chicago?
Capital of Chicago. Dame un segundo. I gotta think.
Yeah. This is a tough one.
I swear to God, if she says Illinois.
Is it Los Angeles? I feel like that's so.
Bro. Someone, all I have to say is, that is the capital. Right? Like.
Wrong. Wow. That's not even a capital. My dumb ass. Capital of Chicago. I really don't know that one.
What language do the people in Idaho speak?
What?
Like the language.
You're speaking it right now. You're speaking it right now. English. Do you speak it?
The people who live in Idaho, what do they speak? Do you know?
Hell no. I don't know. What? Japan?
Do you know how many?
Bro. I want to say something. She will not have an idea of what language they speak in America, but she will have 15 kids. She will have 15 kids and ask for child support.
Presidents we've had so far?
Oh no. No, like
Around how many?
11? 10?
11. How many presidents have been there so far? 11. 11.
Yes, around there. How long is a quarter of an hour?
25 minutes.
Quarter of an hour is 25 minutes. This is sad. I'm going to hug my kid when he gets home. And make sure that he doesn't become one of these retarded people in our country.
Yes. You know that what two countries border the U.S.?
You said what two countries what?
Border?
Mexico? I don't fucking know. Mexico and
Come on. You got one.
I don't know. I forgot.
Yes.
So close. I'll give her half credit because she guessed.
How many dimes make up $1?
How many dimes?
Yeah.
This is science.
Oh my god, we're doing math now? Why are you doing all the questions I can't answer?
Take a guess. You know this.
Dimes. Wait, I'm trying to remember what dimes are. Wait, $1?
Yeah.
Next question.
How many minutes are in half an hour?
60.
How many minutes are in a half hour? 60. He's going to say correct.
Yes.
Ugh, God damn it. Oh, God, she thinks she's correct now. I'm so smart.
An hour? Yeah, 60, right?
In half an hour?
No, 45, 30. 30,
Which one?
45.
Which number? One number.
She's just guessing. She's just guessing.
35.
35. Yes. Half of 60 is 35.
Yes. You almost messed up. How many dimes make up $1?
1,000 or 100? 100.
100 dimes. I would like her to give me change when I ask for change of $1.
What year was the U.S. founded?
What year?
Yeah.
Oh, you lost me with that one.
Around what year? You know.
Around what year was founded? I feel like I should know this one.
I feel like you do know this one.
What year was it founded? Nah, you got it with that one. I don't know.
Just name a Kardashian's birthday.
Guess, like, around what year, if you had to guess?
Nah, because I'm going to look
Guess a year, you know.
a year.
Around when?
Founded. I'm going to be like,
Please do not. Just look. All she's got to do is say something in the 1700s. I'll give her that. Okay? I swear to God, if she says something in the year 2000s, I'm going to lose my shit. I'm going to lose my shit if she says 2000 something. Okay?
1995. No.
All right. Still fucking stupid. Okay? 1995. Okay. At least she didn't say the 2000s. Okay? I don't have to lose my shit.
94, 95.
95.
It was 94.
Yo, what the fuck?
Yes. Do you know
No, do not tell her she's correct.
95.
It was 94.
This dude wants to get laid by her. That's the only reason he's doing this to her. He's like, you're so smart. You're so smart. You want to hang out after this? We could talk about other things. There's no way. I respect it.
Yo, what the fuck?
Yes. Do you know how long a quarter of an hour is?
A quarter of an hour, that's 25 minutes.
Yes. How many seasons are there?
Wait a minute. Hold on. What did he say?
It was 94.
Yo, what the fuck?
Yes. Do you know how long a quarter of an hour is?
A quarter of an hour, that's 25 minutes.
There's a difference between a quarter in $1 and a quarter in an hour. For fuck's sake.
Yes. How many seasons are there?
Please.
5. Wait,
5 seasons.
spring, right?
Okay, you got it. Spring. She's got it, chat. She's got one. That's better than the last one. The last one started naming months. She's got one. She said 5. I don't know where she's going with the 5th one, but she's got one. She's got spring.
That's seasons. Spring, summer.
That's seasons. Oh my God. She's like, spring? That's a season?
Winter, fall.
Summer, winter? She got all 4. But where's she going with the 5th one? Where's she going with the 5th one? Where's she going with it? She got 4. Where's the 5th one? What is she going to say for the 5th one?
4. Spring, summer, winter, fall.
Oh, thank God. There is a God. She corrected herself. She figured it out. She named 4 of the 5 seasons and said, wait, there's only 4.
If you're driving 60 miles an hour and you've been driving for 1 hour, then how far do you travel?
If you're driving 60 miles an hour and you've driven an hour, how far do you travel? There's no way they're going to fucking get this. There's no way they're going to get this.
I don't know, like 60 miles. I don't know.
What's a guess?
30 minutes? I don't know.
60 miles an hour.
60 miles per hour. No shot. Right, Sarge?
Yeah. And you've been driving for an hour, then what's the distance you go? How far do you travel?
I don't drive.
I don't drive. Well, don't worry. You're never going to drive because you'll never afford anything because you're a moron.
So I don't know. I wish I knew, but I don't know.
We all wish you knew. We all wish you knew.
Take a guess. Like, imagine you're in a car. And
Yeah, picture yourself. Let's picture yourself in a car. He should point to a car so she knows what it is. I'll be honest. That's a car. He should say, that right there is a car. We're good there?
driving 60 miles an hour and then you've been driving for an hour, then
Fast.
yeah, it is pretty fast. So how far do you
That's fast.
think you would get in that time?
I can see. Like, there's no gears. There's no gears. It's a fucking hamster. Like with sticks trying to make a fire go on.
It didn't take me that long, so maybe like
Wait a minute, what did she say?
Or then
now it's kind of fast.
yeah, it is pretty fast. So how far do you think you would get in that time?
It wouldn't take me that long, so
No, it wouldn't take you long. 60 miles per hour. How far would you go in an hour?
maybe like 20 minutes.
20 minutes. He's going to say yes. He's going to say yes.
Yes. Do you know how many
Damn it. God, that hurts the most. The confirmation of him trolling. The confirmation they think that they're like, I'm so smart.
stars there are in the US flag?
Dang. Okay.
How many stars are on the U.S. flag?
Around how many?
Around. A lot.
15, 16.
15, 16 stars.
I don't know.
15 or 16?
How many brain cells do you have? 15 or 16. That's about right.
Yeah, 15.
Yes. How long is a quarter of an hour?
Like 30, a half an hour. That's 30 minutes, right?
Quarter of an hour, half hour, 30 minutes. Well, at least he knows that. He knows his halves.
Yes. When do they celebrate the 4th of July in England?
I don't know.
Bro, there's no shot. There's no shot she knows this. Because she doesn't even know what the 4th of July is. There's no way. Obviously, they don't celebrate it because reasons.
I don't know.
If you had to guess.
Is it in July 2?
July 2. I think she's asking. Like, she's asking the question. Is it also in July?
Yes. Nice. 2 days before us.
2 days before us. No, she was asking, is it in July too? But her English is not the best there.
Do you know who fought in the Civil War?
No shot. There's no shot she knows who fought in the Civil War.
You know who fought in the Civil War?
Yeah.
People.
People. Correct. He's just going to say correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Soldiers. Very good. Very good.
You got me there. If you were born 10 years ago, then how old would you be today?
10 years ago.
We don't know how old she is. I'm assuming she's less than 20. Maybe 22? Maybe 22? She would be like 12. She'd be like 12. Just subtract 10 from your age. Whatever your age is, just subtract 10.
I don't know. I'll be like 14, 12.
How old are you? Do you not know how old you are? Holy shit.
12. You don't even know how old I am.
Do you? Do you know how old you are?
If I was, what was it again?
If you were born.
Oh my god. My god. Just gotta subtract 10. Just subtract 10 from your age.
10 years ago
If I
today.
was born 10 years ago today, how old would I be? I'm 20.
Then you would be 10, you moron.
You're 20?
If you were born 10 years ago. Oh, if you were born 10 years ago, you'd be 10. Got it. Got it.
10, right? I said
She would be 10.
12, close.
I'm so angry. I'm so angry at you, Krebsy. I'm becoming stupid listening to these fuckers.
Yes.
I'm literally gonna ban you from the fucking channel. Ah! It's so fucking frustrating. I'm so... There's a ball inside me. I need to end the stream now and go lay out in my hammock. Okay? I can't listen to the question. I'm so angry that they knew the fucking Kardashians more than the actual questions. Yeah, I'm devolving before everyone's eyes. I am literally super frustrated right now. I am sweating. I am literally sweating from anger. The amount of stupidity. And I became one of them at the end of the fucking video. Ah, Jesus. Krebsy, we're never doing that again. We're never doing that again. Fucking stupid people. In 14 days, these people can vote. Hopefully they can't find the actual voting booth. Just tell them it's a test. They won't want to take it. They want us stupid, Prosy. They want the people to be stupid. 100%. Because if you're stupid, then you can't be a problem. I like to think just clips of the worst of them. I know people are dumb. Yeah, I understand it's a video, and they probably took the worst of the people. There's a lot of people that probably got the questions correct. But obviously, they grabbed the people that didn't get it correct. Oh, you're welcome, Makoki. I'm so glad that Krebsy made me scream and get flustered for fucking stupid people. God damn, I hate stupid people. My mom always said one thing, right? You can't fix stupid. You can't fix stupid. You can do a lot of things, but you can't fix stupid. My mom's still alive, by the way. And she still says it. You can't fix stupid. Right. You're stupid. You can't think for yourself. You're easily manipulated. 100%. Because if I tell you something, you're going to believe it. This is why, just in general, just in gaming, just gaming talk, this is why I don't like one side or the other. As far as, like, I'm a Sony pony, I'm an Xbot type of thing. When you believe in stuff like that, you're not open-minded about listening to the actual words. As I didn't listen to the actual words because I wasn't reading. I was just listening to it. Right? And I thought it was 10 years subtracted from your thing, but it was just, if you were born 10 years ago, how old would you be? Right? I wasn't listening to the question because I was so fucking mad about what was being said of the 17-minute long video that the last question, I wasn't even listening to it. I was just like, oh, 10 years. Subtract. But it wasn't. It was just, you were born 10 years ago, how old would you be? You'd be 10. Right? Being that way close-minds you. And when you're closed-minded, okay, you just believe anything. You're like, no, that's not what they told me. This is what they told me. This is how it's going to be. Yeah, it's crazy. Dolphin, you like that emote, don't you? Actually, this is why we have AI. Oh boy. Imagine how many people use it, but they don't know what they're doing. What do we think for? We have AI. That's exactly right, Jones. Oh, man. Like, just blindly defending something. Crash Night. When you think away and you blindly defend something, that's a trash night. Seriously, when my son comes home, I'm going to hug him. My son's a straight A student. I think he got a B last year at the end, right? This year, he's a straight A student, right? I ask him all the time, what'd you do at school today? He says nothing. But when it comes down to it, my son's very, very smart. Okay. He's like, I didn't do anything today. But then when we see his report card and stuff, he's got A's high, high B or whatever. He plays it down. At this point, we might need AI. It's going to be an interesting place. Krebsy says, we need AI to become self-aware. We can fix it because coming generation won't be able to. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy the way that the future generation depends on stuff. Some of the stuff I don't think he learned yet. Like I don't think he's learned all the capitals and states yet. I forget when you learned that. He knows the countries. He knows the countries so well. He says how many countries, don't have an A in it, right? Like he watches a lot of stuff. He watches a lot of stuff, educational stuff. My son's a nerd. Like nerd. He's going to be some sort of like engineer or something when he grows up. I'm not pushing him that way. That's just what I see him going towards. But then again, he's 10 now. He could change a lot. He could meet a girl and it could be all over. Yeah. You meet somebody, your brains go out the window. Yeah, it could be all over. Jones says, your kid's at school doing his homework in class when it's assigned, and he's hopping on Game Pass. Yeah, no, he comes home. He's not allowed electronics when he comes home, Jones. He's not allowed to touch electronics. He comes home. He hangs out for 20 minutes just to, chill out for 20 minutes. Then he does his homework. And then once he's done with his homework, then he's allowed to play with electronics. Oh, absolutely, Krebsy. If you ask them where Taylor Swift was born or what her favorite birthday, what her birthday is or her favorite number or color, they would 100% know that like this. 100%. And I'm a man of my word. So, I'm going to give you a 5-minute timeout. I'm a man of my word. I'm giving Krebsy a 5-minute timeout. He's not allowed to talk and chat for 5 minutes. I don't want to ban you. But that fucking angered me. That angered me. Great for content, bad for blood pressure. He needs a 14-day ban. That whole thing about the 14 ban stuff, I'm okay with it. Just be fucking consistent across the board, Twitch. That's all. Right? I will never be back on Twitch because I just don't like the platform. The platform is corrupt in every way, shape, or form. Okay? I can easily dual stream on both platforms. I refuse to do that because that platform is corrupted from the inside out. And it shows every day. Great for content or aneurysm. That's right. I used to do homework in class and then play Pokemon. I would never do my homework the night of. I would always do it the class before my next class. I would be doing my homework in class while in class before the next class. That's what I did. Just the way I did it. Gouda Papa says, it's hard because I deal with this all the time. Try to get in a good conversation with people, and halfway through you realize the person is just fucking stupid. There's nothing to add. Yeah, I can see that. I can understand that. That's why I try not to get into conversations I don't know anything about. I'll admit it. I don't know anything about that. Right? And if I don't know anything about that particular conversation, then I'm willing to learn. You know what I'm saying? And that's, I love learning. I love learning something new every day. And if I don't know something, I'm okay admitting I don't know it. And then, like, when you guys talk about computers and stuff like that, I'm not into that. But listening to you guys talk and chat and read your chat through Discord and stuff like that, it educates myself, right? I won't stand here and pretend I know certain things when I don't, personally. Altern says, the worst part is imagine assisting those people in customer service trying to explain that they are wrong and you don't understand shit. Yeah, no, it's infuriating. When I was a server back in the day, when I worked at TGI Fridays, we had old people, a lot of old people come in that had dentures. And we would have the soup brought out. And they would have the soup and say it was cold. Meanwhile, it's fucking like boiling. Okay? And I would tell them that your dentures are stopping it, right? Like you can't feel the heat and stuff, right? And they want it hotter, and I refused to make it hotter for them. I'm like, no, it's already scorching hot, right? But they didn't care. I'm just like, holy Christ, like they don't understand. Like literally, I can't touch the bowl. I gotta come out with like volcanic gloves to give you your bowl of soup. Working at the theme park? Oh, my God. The amount of stupidity. The amount of stupidity. Just thinking about it, I'm just... get frustrated. Kylo says, what'd I miss? Did you miss the last 40 minutes, Kylo? Because there's a lot of stupid. So far, there were so many stupid people on screen that I was devolving into one of them. Aunt Jemima says, I want to live in the jungle like Tarzan at this point. Would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, Kurt. No, absolutely. Yeah, and then they'd be like, he burned me. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You're trying to protect them from themselves. Altern says, I bet those gorillas are smarter than the girl that was able to name the Kardashians. God, dude. I knew someone was going to be like the Kardashians. I knew they would bring up some sort of like pop culture thing. You know what I mean? I'm the same way at Kuda Papa. That's why I'm literally, when I tell you like I'm becoming the Hulk when I hear it just keeps ticking on me. I'm just like, I don't want to believe that real. I don't want to believe that's real. I don't want to believe it's real. Like other things that if we knew about certain things in the world, you would like lose all hope. You know what I mean? Like when it's real, you're like, there's no fucking way these people are this stupid. There's no way. Now that you take that and put those against people against the Florida man. Florida man knows different things. Right? Florida man knows different things. There's just a lot of people, like, they don't want to know where they come from. For some reason. And I don't know why. Okay? And I'll say this and then we'll try to wrap it up. Okay? People that are from Peru, Cuba, Canada, UK, Australia, like people that are born in other countries love their country. They'll come to this country and they'll wave that flag and the culture and the richness of where they came from. But for some reason, when they come here, okay, they don't, and I'm being very generalistic, right? They don't respect here. This is a young country, right? We're going to be 250 years old, okay? It's a young country, and they make fun of people that are Americans. We're born and raised in America, and they're waving their flag just like they wave their Puerto Rican flag or their Cuban flag or their Australian flag or their Japanese flag or whatever their place they come from. They have rich culture, hundreds, thousands of years of culture, right? And they love that. They're taught that. They respect that. And then when they come here, they don't like the people that are here. They don't like the way they do stuff here, but yet they come here to have the freedom that we have here. It's such a mind-blowing thing that you could come to a place, do what you do, say what you say, and then hate the place that you're at. Then just go back, right? Everyone's welcomed. Just do it the correct way. Like if I went over to France and I wanted to live in France, I would have to learn the French way. If I went to Japan, I would have to learn the Japan way, right? These are things that need to be, like, we might be the youngest country, but it stands the same. The people that love their culture over here, if you see a redneck over here, if you see a cowboy over here, if you see a person that's born and raised, hillbilly guy, they love their country just like that person loved their country, okay? It's the same fucking thing, but they don't see it that way. They don't see it that way. The best part is when an American hates America, but lives in America. Yeah, it's the most infuriating thing. That, what Asmongold said, okay, should got banned. But that girl that also said what she said before she got banned should also be banned. To live in a state that you are drinking your fucking tea, saying the shit that you're saying, it's because you're in America. You can say those things. If she said those things from where she was from, she probably wouldn't be around anymore. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's so asinine to think about this like that. It's like you're saying things because you can say them, which is the beautiful thing about where we live in America. Not everyone has the same type of stuff around the world. And some people might hate us because they're jealous of us, and some people might hate us just because they think we're fucking idiots, and if they watch that fucking thing, then they would think 100%. The aliens up above might look down on us and go, Jesus Christ, what in the world did we do? America's a giant expressway with McDonald's along the way. The culture is far richer than most of us other countries. The melting pot is absolutely amazing. Absolutely. I supervise all Hispanics, which all have no problem with it, but I also have lived here for 30 years and don't know any English. And I'm forced to learn Spanish to work with them. I had the same thing when I was down. I used to work for Telemundo down in Miami, okay? And when I worked for Telemundo, they wouldn't speak English. Wouldn't speak English, okay? I had to learn Spanish, right? So I don't speak Spanish, but I learned how to understand Spanish when I was down there, okay? Because they refused to learn English. But if I went over there, I would have to learn Spanish. right? If you go down to Miami, there's certain parts of Miami that are all complete other Spanish. The signs, everything. You wouldn't even know you're in America. And I think speaking different languages is fantastic. But I also think you should learn English. English plus your language. Harsh the Witch says, I don't fly in a lot of countries. They'll get you up out of there real quick. Yeah. Yeah. Like, you have to, just like if I went somewhere else, I would have to study and learn if I wanted to live there. You gotta do the same thing here. But people don't, they're like, no. They want to take the Cliff Note test, right? You can love where you're from, but then you should love where you are now because you wanted to come here. Dolphin says, damn, Telemundo has the best weather girls. I just think it's so hypocritical sometimes for some people. But we'll leave it on that. I appreciate everyone coming out and hanging out with us. If you guys like what we do here, this is a morning show podcast. We have conversations about gaming, entertainment news, other things along the way. Watch videos, get angry about stupid people. Okay, if you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. There's emotes that you can have in the chat. We have a Discord that you can link up to. It's free for everybody, but if you are a member, you can link it up to the Discord, and there's much more room. You can give us feedback for the channel to make your experience better on this channel, to have different things that come up. I'm going to ask again if you guys can think of some sort of GIFs or memes that when someone gifts or someone does something on the channel, we can pop it up and have like a celebration type of thing. I don't want to come up with stuff. I want you guys to come up with stuff that you guys think would be cool to put on the channel, because I am making this channel and entertaining you guys. And if you guys are not entertained, then I want to find out what I can do better to get you entertained. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member. And then we'll be back tonight for some gaming. I downloaded some demos from Steam last night, so we might go play some demos tonight like we did last week on Monday. We might play some different demos tonight. You guys have a great rest of your afternoon, day, or evening. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for hanging. Peace.